Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Trader TV Live. Futures looking mixed here to start the morning with the ES and the NQ both in negative territory. The Dow up marginally and the Russell 2000 leading. All four major averages up 1/3% here, with Bitcoin popping back above 107,000 and nat gas as well as oil up to start the morning. Lots to talk about today. Tesla deliveries in focus. We should have them momentarily. As soon as we do, we will let you know. Apple getting an upgrade today from Jefferies, and Intel looking at revamping their 18A strategy, 3 nanometer equivalent there. Google, Adara, also in focus. They had to pay a big sum of money for the capturing of information without knowledge of users.
Yes, and we have some other catalysts as well, and watch, of course, Netflix and Spotify maybe teaming up, according to the Wall Street Journal, and CNC, Centene Corporation, tanking. They're down like 28% after cutting their guidance for the fiscal year. I also want to talk about these ADP employment change numbers. This is really the only economic data of note we're getting all day, except for these crude oil numbers at 10:30. So ADP employment change. We're expecting 95,000 jobs here, or I guess that's the consensus for forecast. I'm seeing an average forecast of 98,000. Either way, it came in negative 33,000. So well below estimates and the previous print here for ADP employment change, Sharif.
All right, guys. Tesla deliveries momentarily slated, or at least estimates are that they will be below expectations. And Kalshi, guys, even looking lower than that. So we're talking about 390, maybe 380,000 for the quarter. Kalshi saying 365, boys.
Kind of cool. I never ate. What's up, Obi? What's
I guess we can start with
I heard something about we're doing it live today.
Today we're going live,
Okay.
so make sure you hit the like and the subscribe. Obi, please do not stress out.
I'm not
Today,
sometimes I get a little nervous.
I noticed.
When I'm public speaking.
I know.
I'm a little,
Right.
So sometimes
breathe.
I get lost. I got to breathe. Got to remember to maintain.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
Yeah.
We're our eyes are on Tesla this morning.
Oh boy.
Of course, as we get ready to rock and roll here. We're doing it live today. Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us for our first live. No. We're gonna thank all 500,000 subscribers right now with us every single day.
Every single one.
It's July 2nd. So here we go, man. We're ready to go. I don't know what the time. That's interesting. Oh, what I was going to start with is that's interesting about Kalshi. Like, I never thought about going over to that sort of gambling kind of odds-based website to find out information.
Oh, a lot of people are using Polymarket
on what's expected.
Yeah, because it's like people put their money where they really believe in.
Yeah.
And I think prediction markets are definitely something. That's a really nice shirt.
Thank you. Yeah. The prediction market. So you've looked there before?
I've started to look there as well. And you know what? Honestly, it's like market making opportunities on those markets. It could be definitely something as well.
Well, I mean, if you have some sort of an inside,
yeah, exactly.
Not inside information, but like a thought that these numbers are way too low or whatever. So that's interesting. So we'll wait.
It's pricing.
We'll wait to see what happens right here. But right now, Tesla up. See, like my thing says Apple, this says Tesla. Okay, so right now Tesla up 0.5%, doing nothing, waiting around for those delivery numbers. I think they're going to be weaker than expected, but. Who knows? So that's what we wait for on that one. It's nice to see an upgrade on Apple from Jefferies. And I said to Sharif, I was like, are you sure that number's right? Upgraded with a price target of 188? I'm kind of like, did you mean to put a 2 in front of that 88? But yeah, but apparently not. Apparently there's even a cents is 188.32. Yeah. So and then I tweeted out also. I just did this 3 minutes ago. What are we looking at today? Tom D says Apple gap fill incoming. And I responded short. I don't know what, so when we're looking at this gap fill right here on Apple, I don't like gapping back into here or gapping up to 215. I don't really see a gap to fill. So that's what I was gonna try to ask Tom that if you're in the chat, what are we looking at for Apple? Because I like trading obviously on catalysts. We talked about that. We actually had a stat there in or a poll yesterday or a couple days ago. Anyways, it was what are you trading on? Yeah, and it's like, yeah, I want to trade on the Tesla deliveries. I want to trade on Boeing news or Google news or Apple news or whatever. Amazon as well. We found out that Mr. Bezos, I guess, in order to fund this small little wedding of his, there was selling. He sold approximately $750 million, which is. He sneezed by accident and hit sell on his. He
dropped his wallet.
Yeah. He couldn't find his phone, so he said sell a couple shares. Between June 27th and June 30th, sold $750 million. And if we're going to look at what those prices were, June 27th to 30th, yeah, so in this area here. So it couldn't have been too much different than what we're talking about. And in fact, if he had sold, then it must be in the 217, 220-ish area. So now that that is done with, I wonder if Amazon has enough to go back to the upside right here. Prime Day coming July 8th. I've traded off Prime Day before. It was never really super successful. So yeah, we're gonna wait for that. But yeah, Tesla, as soon as it comes through, we'll hear it in our ear. Any other names you're kind of looking at? How was your evening? We wound up going to fireworks. It was pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. We about 7 or so minutes of fireworks. It was pretty good. I don't know. Mosquitoes were crazy.
Yeah, no, the mosquitoes are absolutely wild, and especially like it's much warmer. It's humid as well, especially when it's humid. When it's in a little humid, they definitely come out. It's not the best. But no, I went to bed a little early. I heard some fireworks, and maybe I saw them out the window, but then I was like,
how early is early for Obi?
Well, early relative to when the fireworks were probably happening. I went to bed around like 10, 11-ish, I think.
You went to bed at 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, not me. I wish I had gone to bed at 10. Don't you always feel like you need more? I always feel like I need more.
10 is the prime time for me because I'm like, usually I'll get up by like 5:30.
Yeah, that's the difference. Yeah, I'm up by like 6:30-ish.
Yeah, because you know what I realized as well, again, tracking the sleep and everything, there's a lot of time at night that you are like rolling around and waking. You're not actually asleep. So the total hours actually sleeping, say you sleep for like 8, you probably only get like 7.
Right, there's different stages of sleep.
Yeah, exactly. You probably really only get like 7. So if you're trying to get like 6.5, 7 minimum, you probably want to sleep for like 8 hours.
What do people on the chat get? Like, so yesterday, for example, the fireworks started at 10.
Okay.
So we weren't even home till 11.
Yeah.
And I have we had kids and everything. So it's and then I probably hit the, head on pillow probably 12:30.
Yeah.
With 6 to 7 hours of sleep. Tesla deliveries. Put the bananas down.
Thank you very much.
Any expectations here? It's probably on. I think we're on.
Are we on?
Hey Randy, how was your Canada Day?
Yo.
We got Rivian deliveries.
Not heard
right
yet.
now. Okay, let's pull that up.
Okay, well let me just see. Well, Rivian deliveries is not moving the stock at all. Okay, there it is.
Okay.
What? They got more equity investment from
Volkswagen?
Delivering 10,600. Is there a production line that's shut?
They're going to have a problem. The stock's not moving.
They were supposed to go over their supplier or supply chain issues. Don't forget, the Volkswagen deal is largely about the software. They want the zonal architecture that Rivian has developed. It's going to come out in the Gen 2.1 of the ID series for Volkswagen. They want the software. That's why there's billions of investment coming in. This has been a difficult road for Volkswagen to get the software out the door. They've had issues. The R2, Sharif, I think they saved 2.1 miles of wiring. Miles. Like 10,000 feet of wiring on the R2 versus their Gen 1 R1.
What was that? What did you just say?
10,000 feet of wiring.
For what?
For the zonal architecture in the new Rivian R2. That's a lot of weight. That's a lot of complexity. A lot less supply chain issues. A lot less wiring, cables, cost. The whole works. I'd have to look up the actual number. It's crazy how much wiring they saved due to this new architecture design.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
And Volkswagen wants that. It's simplicity in manufacturing. It's it takes less time, costs less money. So it's about being efficient, folks, and the software on top of that. So this architecture that they've invested in with Rivian is going to give Volkswagen a leg up, and it's an amazing thing. So that's the same. Tesla,
I didn't know, Sharif, was that delivery number low?
It is.
Okay.
Expectations, and what I really caught my attention, Sean, was the produced. Less than 6,000 produced on the quarter, but they delivered 10,600. So that was my question to you, Randy. Was there a production line that was shut possibly for retooling? Because that's a really, really low number.
It's possible. I'd have to look at I haven't looked at production stats in a while. I'm gonna have to go back to the numbers. I'll get back to you on that. I will. They have been sitting on inventory possibly for a while as well that they were able to move to make up the sales numbers.
You don't know much about this number that just dropped 3 minutes ago?
No. Been running cables.
Come on, Randy.
Been running cables all morning.
What have you been up to all morning?
Yeah, cables and coffee.
But what do you think about Well,
Oh, that
I'll
sounds
definitely
like a
take the
great
secondary.
name.
Yeah, I'll definitely.
For a podcast?
Cables and coffee.
Cables and coffee.
Then we got to talk about cables.
I mean, not necessarily, but that would be, it could be like a tech,
Cables,
like a tech.
all that.
All right, over under Tesla deliveries. I mean, whatever the expected, you think was going to go over that number or under that number?
I'm going to say under, but
I'm going to say over. Obi?
Under.
All right.
coffee.
I'm gonna try and create content. Yeah, all right, yeah, I'd love to have a coffee. Thank you so much.
Coffee, right?
Sometimes it's so good, so bad it's good, and let's just wait to see what winds up happening there with Tesla. We want to, of course, thank Randy once again for throwing that down. But I just wanted to show you guys quickly. We're gonna go back over the desk. It's 8:40. Rivian on that. That's why I asked Sharif about expectations there, because it didn't do anything. So Rivian numbers come out and not much going on there. And that's funny, man, all that wiring. I had no idea that this was what was in each individual car there, I think. That's why I have to confirm with Randy what exactly those numbers were. But anyways, Tesla, we wait. But what I was talking about you with before I got obsessed with Randy was when you don't see, I've known Randy for almost 25 years or plus.
Known for over a year and a half.
It's been just 2 years. Yeah, it's just you've been knowing him for 2 years. Yeah, it's just a minute. He's a great guy, but obviously.
Oh yeah.
So what other names? Because right now I'm looking around and trying to struggle. Yesterday we had a great short on AMD.
Yeah.
I think the chip names could be in play again. Didn't look too much at Nvidia yesterday. Didn't look at the quantum names or uranium. I think a lot of that needs to be looked at today. So what are you thinking?
So I got a few on my docket. Obviously Tesla, definitely after the deliveries numbers. I want to see how things pan out. You can see the market kind of flushing back in as well. I got Apple on watch, to be honest, Sean, because even with the market acting the way that it is,
right.
Apple's still kind of holding that trend from I guess a day and a half ago, the catalyst that kind of came out on Monday. And we've been holding higher highs and higher lows, so I'm just going to be looking for more of the same on Apple, not going to complicate it too much. And then same thing with AMD, more of the same on AMD as well. We see it's been kind of selling off. It's starting to curl a little bit off of the uptrend that it's been having. So AMD as well for a bit of continuation.
Tesla might make $3 right now.
Yeah, I think we saw how it interacted with that 300 yesterday, and I know a lot of players were definitely in maybe potentially 300 puts, and we washed that 300 pretty aggressively all day yesterday.
So you have the futures on the right, Tesla in the middle.
So this up here is the ES. This here is the Nasdaq. You can always read this this little thing here for those of you guys in the chat who are always asking. And yeah, a little Tesla's over here, and I got Amazon over here. Not really going to be. I don't think I'm going to be looking at Amazon as closely, but definitely Apple. I like. And there was one more here. Yeah, this one was not on my radar, and I heard Adara call it out in the morning. CNC with a bit of a gap down. So, of course, Starbucks as well.
Centene there, FY25 guidance.
Yeah, like look at it. Look at this thing. Look, this thing is gapping down. So I was like automatically anchored VWAP right there. Anchored V.
Some kind of
VWAP right there.
Nothing.
So to that event, and then when you look back, let's go to a 3 hour right here. I can't even see what's back there. Let's go up to a weekly then. So all the way down here, we're breaking below lows from 2019
we gotta go to the futures
on this CNC. So okay, right away when I saw that, automatically on my list for tickers to watch, and of course Starbucks as well. Starbucks kind of doing a little bit of a curling action here potentially. So let's take a look at a 15-minute here. So this is all I'm looking at. Bit of a consolidation, maybe not necessarily consolidation, prior high attempt right here. So 95.91. Let's see if we can get above that. But again, yesterday was pretty aggressive. I don't know if this bid's going to follow through. And Starbucks was not the only stock that had this kind of like a buy program kind of look all the way from the morning to about, I guess, 12:30. There was a few different stocks as well. So I'm going to be looking at some of the sector ETFs as well to see if it's a sector move instead of an individual stock move. And I think that is a little bit of what's going on. Again, shortened week, maybe some rebalancing happening, maybe some money moving around in terms of sector flow.
I think I found what I want to do. The futures, right here. Futures breaking right now, right through this level right here. So we're gonna go back to Monday's low, taking it out right now. I have the #1 trade ideas on here is going to be the TQQs today. trying to break this low right into there. Looks like we are going to get that movement. I mean, obviously with Tesla coming out around 9 a.m., we'll wait to see what those numbers have, but I don't think they're going to affect the overall market. I mean, obviously stock specific, but the futures right now at a very, very tipsy spot as the market looks to turn over here starting in the second half. So, all right, we're ready to go, man. We've got our ears plugged in. We've got Adara, obviously, and Sharif on the board as well, looking for these numbers and looking for any kind of news that hits. I mean, yesterday we had that plummet down after Trump was yap again, and I mean, that's not going to stop. We had news about Japan. We're days away from this July 9th sort of 90-day pause there, and you know, we're going to wait. So, all right, congratulations to the Toronto Blue Jays beating once again your New York Yankees.
Another one.
Yeah, we have the DJ. All right, fine. Just because you said it there.
Another one.
All right, that's enough.
Oh.
Is he a Yankees fan?
I don't know.
Yeah, so anyways, Rivian now continues to move lower. So I don't know, man. There's a push down there, under-delivered on their expectations, 5,000 vehicles. All right, we've talked way too long. It's 8:46. What are we even doing?
What are we doing?
Right now? But I think you guys enjoying this talk. Let me know if you guys are enjoying this talk as we go live for the first time. We're not sure what people like. So, all right, let's go back over to the desk. Enjoy your pre-July 4th festivities if you're not working, and thank you for tuning in to Trader TV Live.
So just to add some color to the Rivian headline here, they received $1 billion from Volkswagen. Guys, that is part of the bigger $5.8 billion pact that's associated with the technology venture where Rivian shares a lot of its onboard systems with Volkswagen. Some things are not going to be shared, though. So $1 billion there, as Sean mentioned, though, not a lot of action here from the stock, down 1.5%. You have more color on that, Adara.
Yeah, so again, we talked about those production numbers seeming a little bit lower than expected. That's apparently because during the second quarter, the company is preparing for their Model 2026 vehicles, which are expected to launch later this month. So they had a little bit more limited production. It's also worth noting, though, regardless, these numbers were in line with Rivian's outlook. So the delivery numbers were actually down 22.7% year over year, and they reaffirmed their outlook. Other stocks to look at here, we have STZ. They had earnings. The stock's been pretty choppy, not a ton of volume today, but it was a double miss, unfortunately, for STZ. Adjusted earnings of $3.22 per share, just missing estimates of $3.31. Sales, $2.515 bill versus $2.554 bill expected. Guidance, also not great.
All right, guys, a lot of the reasons why they didn't do as well. Aluminum duties hiked 25% in March and 50% in June, putting a severe pressure on, well, their main product there. Cans, the impact is significant. 80% of the company's revenue, guys, comes from imported Mexican beer, Modelo, Pacifico, and Corona. I said that middle one wrong, but STZ, guys, any look on either of these?
It's going to come out soon.
Okay. Obi anticipating the number coming out pretty soon. Right there. So, yeah, STZ Constellation. Adair and I had this live last night, of course, and it's nothing. There was supposed to be 6% worth of a move. You're doing absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing yesterday. Absolutely nothing going on right now. If I'm going to buy a goods company or anything like that, or consumers, anything, I'm always going to go to Procter & Gamble. I mean, you know, chase a yield of 3.5%. You know, big consumer products. I think that this name, again, just at these levels, it's not a sexy name. There's, you know, you buy it during dips and you try to sell it when it, I guess, rips. And but yeah, I don't know. I like P&G there. They had talked about alcohol. Yeah, that is what I was getting to, though, Randy. But alcohol sales down 17% for Constellation Brands. And I think that has a lot to do with the GLP-1 drugs. We know people that are on GLP-1s, and it's definitely stopped some of the wine cravings and alcohol and beer, spirits, all that kind of stuff. So those of you that are taking that, I don't know. But that leads me to weed and thinking that there was more consumption of cannabis, gummies, things like that. But then the thing about that is like, I was thinking about that. If you're going to suppress your appetite with GLP-1, and therefore you're not going to be super excited about potentially drinking alcohol, which is loaded with calories, you know, but then you're maybe substituting alcohol with cannabis.
Yeah. and that increases
that increases the munchie aspect of that,
it'll
in
definitely.
which you are maybe reaching for caloric intake anyways. But I don't really know about that because the weed stocks are not moving higher on anything like that. So yeah,
that's moving higher are those percentages on the label.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, those percentages are whacked, by the way.
I don't believe it.
There's weed marked right here in Ontario with like 39% THC, 37%. It's not even possible to be that high.
Yeah.
But and I just want to say to everybody in the chat, this is not our first day live. I know I keep saying that. This is our first day live. Oh man, it's not. I don't know if you can tell. We're pretty comfortable.
What's going on, Randy?
Did you see that
not Randy
Springer
again.
Grand Slam?
No, because I turned it off because we were winning.
Epic. It was just
But that was we were already
Yankees
in one.
were up and they just slaughtered him.
Yeah,
beautiful. He had 2 home runs, but what a grand slam! Just go watch the.
Yeah,
go
because
watch
Bichette's hurt now, right, for the last couple of days. So
George, here's to you, pal.
I was actually talking about that. What is so nice, and in baseball, when the Blue Jays are winning, like Toronto's a different buzz. I feel like.
What a game!
It's like it's more than the Leafs. It's more than the Raptors. People love going to Jays games. And finally, man, this is 1 year, Randy, where our expectations were actually really low. And now we're almost like we're in first place. Like we're a game behind the Yankees right now. And their payroll, our payroll is big too, but it's like we did not expect this. So,
they weren't
and
expecting
if
to be
Max Scherzer can
contending.
actually stay healthy, which I'm not sure he can, that's another arm that we can.
Check out that Springer Grand Slam.
I will.
folks.
What was it, deep center or where was it? You don't know. Okay, well.
I don't know if this is like confluence or anything, but like I go to a game and these guys just start winning. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. When did you go? It was not even that. It was like a month ago.
Yeah, not even.
And they've only lost like 3 games or something since you've been. Obi went to his first Blue Jays game.
First game ever, period, Go Sports, Blue Jays game. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I liked it. Like I sat there and I watched. I didn't know any of the players, but I was having fun. I was definitely rooting for the Jays for sure.
I hope you're rooting for the Jays.
It's like, yes,
come on,
go team, our team.
All right. All right, 8:51. Let's go back to the desk and figure out what these guys are up to. Hey, Sharif and Adair, have you guys been to a Jays game yet this year?
I was actually going to ask Neil if he had any available for his seasons there, but, you know, he's gone. But I saw the big dub yesterday, Sean. I love when New York is in town and gets everybody pumped up. The Jays had their red for Canada Day, and they absolutely killed New York. So, sorry. And Sean, are we half a game back now or 1 game back?
And then now we've won 2 in a row. So I think it's 1, but I'll double check. But how exciting is that? Plus there's a wild card, Sharif, right?
Absolutely. And there's now more wild card spots, Sean. So let's, I'm pumped up. Let's talk a little Mara here. Adair's going to cover Bitcoin. I'll cover Mara. So Mara up 1.5%. Not a bad look here into that $16 area. They announced their goal to reach 75 exahashes of computing power by the end of 2025, which would be a 40% bump from last year. The CEO said the plan supports the company's vision of scaling efficiently and maintaining low power costs. Just to give you an idea here of what they have on their balance sheet, they produced about 713 Bitcoin in June, which was a 25% drop month over month. They still have, though, Adair, about almost 50,000 Bitcoin on their balance sheet. That makes them the second largest publicly traded corporation, the second largest holding of a publicly traded corporation.
Yeah, of course we know which the first one is. That would be Strategy, formerly known as MicroStrategy. And it's interesting too, Sharif, is a lot of these crypto stocks as of late have not really been trading in tandem with one another or with Bitcoin. But let's talk about Bitcoin. This weekly chart on BTC still looks great. This is a rounded bottom, a little bit of a cup and handle. And even as we oscillate just below that 110,000 level, still looks like we could push higher in the weekly. The daily is a little bit more kind of back and forth, a little bit potentially of a bull flag from that Liberation Day low. One could argue, let's see if we can get above this most recent peak of 108,000 and then push into 110 and 112 to new all-time highs.
Sean, you and I were talking off camera. Bitcoin seems to be doing nothing around here, holding very a tight range. What's the look?
Kind of, yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Sharif. Yeah, I think that I'm just trying to find a Bitcoin chart that I actually had up here, because where did it go? Okay, right here. You know what I was actually looking up here? This is funny because I was looking up this. I have some cash lying around.
Ew.
So I was looking up this cash. This is in Canada cash, and it pays like 3 to 4%, and gives.
I've seen those charts.
Yeah, and it gives monthly dividends.
Yeah.
So every time the dividend is given, it falls back. and then goes back and forth. So yeah, anyways, I changed the chart. So my bad on that one. Let's go to Coinbase. But okay, so yeah, just looking here at a daily chart. And I said to Sharif, I said, it's funny because we all get sort of all like gassed up about Bitcoin here and so excited about how you know, the potentials here and you know, people think that Bitcoin's a risky asset, and it is. I mean, it as a class, crypto as a whole is pretty volatile, especially if you are looking at some of those altcoins. But if you're just going to look at Bitcoin, I mean, it's actually moving a lot less than the Nasdaq. It's kind of just doing nothing. We did have a dip down into 100,000. Obviously, I do understand that we did have that sort of a 5% move down, but then it kind of was just bought right back up. And I'm just wondering, and remember, like when we have those moves down, you know, we did have some strife, obviously. We talked about what was going on. The Nasdaq's pulled back a little bit here as well. So I just look at I look at Bitcoin and I see what's been happening to the U.S. dollar. I mean, look at the DXY right here. Like, what's going on with this? Like, you're gonna tell me that this is the DXY back in January of 25. So the high of the year right here, 110, down to 97. So where's the flight to safety on the US dollar, right? I mean, maybe, and I don't want to compare, you know, Bitcoin, BITC, where's coin? Bitcoin right here, allmarkets.com, whatever, right there. Where's this, right? So I feel like this is holding despite what's been happening to the US dollar. And I just wonder if there's a little bit of a flight to safety on Bitcoin as well until we actually start to crack lower. When do people get rid of their Bitcoin? Like, what level makes you nervous to where you're gonna sell whatever you own? And I honestly think that a lot of us bulls on crypto are actually waiting for a move down into here to buy more, which is why I'm buying more right here. I bought 105, I bought 103, I bought down into this dip the first time it happened, down into here, I guess, 90, no, I didn't buy 98. I guess we must have bought it in here somewhere. So I'm just like, I'm buying over 100 grand. I feel like Bitcoin is fine at these levels and we just wait for that next bump up. And I don't know, I'm pretty excited about crypto rate. Why am I still on ISTZ? IBIT would be the tool that I would use for this. But unfortunately, Sharif and Obi, for me, I don't see enough movement right now in this to be super excited to get anything here. Look, yesterday we talked about, and I know I'm all over the place here, but SMR, Oklo, some of these names, right? I've already called the downside. We were selling SMR up there north of 40s. We had tons of people on the show saying buy, 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 buy. Now we have these stocks are starting to come back in a little bit, right? I'm a little bit nervous about QBTS and some of these other names. So, you know, if you've made money in some quantum plays and you want to store it somewhere, I think Bitcoin has a chance to go for a little bit of a run. Wait for these things to settle down. You're getting down to this area. I remember Neil was here. He's in QBTS. And I was telling him, I think that we're going to get a push back into this 10-11 spot and where I think there could be a possible buy zone. But remember the thing about quantum, Obi, and you probably know more about everything than me, but you know, like quantum's not a thing right now. It's a talking point.
Yeah.
Fine, it's a thing of the future, but
yeah.
I don't know. What are you hearing about quantum? Anything?
I mean, I think we don't know realistically like how far the technology really is. I do think that that's something that we can be looking forward to, but I don't know, in terms of outlook, people who are a lot more knowledgeable than I am in the space have said 5 years, 10 years. We saw Jensen Huang made some comments and then kind of go back on them as well. So I think reality is like nobody really knows when and if it'll start coming into fruition. But in terms of quantum computing itself, like we have some quantum computers. I think they're trying to make them better, maybe more mainstream.
I heard Google is a big
for sure.
There.
I think so, and I think these sectors and these stocks are a lot more speculative right now than anything. But I think the price action on them is pretty nice. There's lots of opportunity. Front side, back side, absolutely beautiful on some of those quantum names. So.
Any opinion on crypto before we go to Adara?
I think 125's on the horizon. Who knows when, but that buildup is looking nice.
Yeah, it's definitely on the horizon at some point there. All right, couple more seconds, hopefully, until we get those numbers from Tesla. So let's switch over to the screen with Adara and go over upgrades and downgrades.
Yeah, we're going to go over this pretty quickly because of those Tesla numbers. Apple getting an upgrade to, I guess, hold here from Jeffrey, so not super significant, but interestingly enough, $188.32 price target. Yes, that is real. Then we have Oracle getting upgraded by BMO. We know this one's still trading near all-time highs. Wisdom Tree with a North Coast upgrade, and D-Wave, speaking of quantum, up a little bit today with a $20 price target and an upgrade from Cantor Fitzgerald. Adobe are getting downgraded by Rothschild this morning. We know that Figma, which Adobe was trying to acquire earlier, is now apparently filing for an IPO. KeyCorp with a downgrade here from Robert W. Baird. Stellantis getting downgraded by Wolfe Research, and Centene downgraded by UBS. So we send you back to the guys and hopefully some Tesla deliveries.
Works, yeah. We were, Obi and I were just talking about how that price is down. Yeah. But
who's this analyst at Jefferies? I want to have a talk.
The thing is that, like, you know, their price target before might have been 150, and now it's upgraded to that. So I don't really care about their price targets. It's more about the reason why. We wait for Tesla right now. It doesn't look like we're getting anything yet. As soon as this pops, there's a lot of volume going through. 2.5 million shares. We have it up. As soon as it comes through, it's good to go. You had some thoughts on Apple. I'm assuming Apple's going to be on our rundown today as well. So Apple's on the rundown. Yeah. So, okay. So I'm not going to talk too much about it right now, but we are fading out here in the futures. My number one trade, as I work on the sticky note right now, we didn't have a guest or anything, and normally I read the notes, I come in, look at charts for 40 minutes or whatever, write the sticky note, get some ideas down, talk to you guys, you know, figure out the feel of the market, and get some ideas down. So I have few of them. Right there, Tesla number's huge. Just like I said, where's Randy? Randy, where are you at, my guy? Where are you at, Randy? Right there it goes, man. 302 up to 315. Tesla's ripping. I'm just playing around. I mean, nobody knows what these numbers were going to be before they're out. There it goes, man. 312. And here it comes right back in. Don't come out here, Randy. I might be wrong. There it is. But look at that, Randy. 302 right to 315. Straight upside move. I don't have the numbers yet. Do you guys have them? All right, let's go over to the desk.
Go over these numbers here. So I'm seeing these. I'm seeing them on Zynga. Yep, I'm seeing some numbers circulate here on X. So from what I'm seeing, deliveries here, 384,122 vehicles for Q2. That is a little bit below the estimate of 389,407. But as we know, some of these analyst estimates do oscillate, go back and forth a little bit. We were expecting around 390,000 either way. This 384,122 is a slight miss for TSLA. Now, in terms of production, I'm still looking up for those numbers. I'm seeing approximately 410,000 vehicles produced. Not sure how that compares to estimates, but this delivery number definitely a little bit of a miss, guys.
All right, we'll send it back to Randy just for some comments. I know he's waiting there with the boys.
First of all, it cannot be a miss. And the reason why I say that is, obviously, those numbers, somebody was way low. If it's a miss, it wouldn't be up right now 6%. So I don't know. Like, was there anything else in that report? But there it goes, Randy. Huge move to the upside, right? If we would have thought this was a miss, I think this would have gone the other way.
I think it'll be short-lived, though.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Lower.
Yeah.
You know, other than Norway, European deliveries have fallen off a cliff. So it's, you know, they're sitting on lots, and I mean lots of inventory.
That's exciting. That's interesting. Like now 317, you're up 5% in a red tape right now. This either something else was given. There it is right here. It must be the production number or something, because this is what I'm getting from Benzinga. Total production of 410, total deliveries. So there must be something. Maybe they beat on production. Yeah, so maybe they're producing more cars but delivering less. That's actually a recipe for disaster, in my opinion.
Yeah,
so
you don't
I don't really know what's going on right there. But you know what? Regardless, Randy, you and I are a bunch of pawns, because this is just Rip City right now. You're telling me this is a miss?
Well, trade the hype.
What are you talking about?
You just got to trade the price action. You can call it a miss, call it what you want. But the thing is that 300
Tesla
yesterday was absolutely amazing. You saw off the open, we had the 300 long all the way push into 305s, and I was like, all right, well, this 300 could be a level. In the pre-market right here, take a look at this low, Sean.
Wow.
300 low, Rip City, $20 off of that 300. So call it what you will. That level hold was quite nice.
Jeez,
and then boom,
now you're up 7%, 321, 322. There has to be something out here. that's a little bit better than we think, because that doesn't make any sense. The only thing I'm seeing is 410 on the production, 384 on the deliveries. Ciao, there goes Tesla. I mean, this is why you don't put things like this on your sticky note until you see them, because there it goes, man. What am I going to write? Short Tesla, 305? Like, look at this, 321, 322. There we go. It's Rip City. It's Tesla. We're got this one. I mean, we're long in our own account, of course, on this one, but it's nice to see a 7% jump right there in Tesla. I mean, everybody's, my daughter's making these bracelets now out of, so we have whatever these things are, beads, and then now she's doing some ribbon type of stuff there. So that was pretty cool. But there goes Tesla, 322, man. What a face slapper right there. I don't know, Sharif, I don't know if you could make anything of all this, but what a move. It's also, you know, Nvidia's starting to go back up as the whole Nasdaq right now is trying to retrace just a little bit as Tesla is off. So Sharif Adera, what are you guys making of this number? Because that's quite wild. Let's go back over the desk and start our rundown. Wow.
Yeah, our rundown is going to start here with TSLA. So I'm going to go over these numbers. It's definitely, I was just saying to Sharif off camera, it seems like production is what's buoying them here, and certainly not deliveries, because as mentioned, they actually did miss on deliveries. Deliveries of 384,122 vehicles. We were expecting here on average around 389,407. So that is a miss, but production was excellent. 410,244 vehicles produced versus estimates of just over 400,000, so that would be a beat. Specifically, though, Sharif, I want to talk about their Model 3 and Model Y production, because that was well above estimates. 396,635 vehicles versus 383,000 expected, so beating by about 13,000 vehicles for production. Now, their production of their other models was a miss, and it was interesting, too, the delivery of their other models was a massive miss here. So they, in terms of other models like non-3 and Y, they delivered 10,394 vehicles. We were expecting 14,644 vehicles. So even though their Model 3 Y deliveries also missed, it really seems like there's other vehicles categories where they're struggling a bit.
And that's where they make the majority of their money, obviously, because those are mass produced. Also, guys, they saw 9.6 gigawatts of energy storage products. They highlight the continued growth and the operational efficiency in the automotive and energy sector. That is one of the lesser spoken about sectors for Tesla. Obviously, their energy output, solar, etc., battery storage. Trying to take out 320 here, boys. We'll keep an eye out on Tesla, but we'll start with the rundown as well with Apple of the upgrade now from Jefferies. Jefferies upgrading Apple from underperform to hold with that weird price target of $188.32. They expect Q3 2025 revenue and EPS to beat estimates handily here, but what they're guiding 5 to 9%, driven by strength in China as well as tariff-related pull forward. They're saying iPhone sales in China during that 618 shopping festival, which is the second biggest shopping event after Singles Day in China, was quite good, which actually saw iPhone sales increase about 19% year over year. It was helped, though, boys, by targeted discounting and subsidies. They also see its June quarter. They're estimating there that they're going to sell about 50 million, a little bit less than 50 million iPhones, which would be for the whole world, which would be a 9% bump year over year. They say, though, Adara, that the growth could stall in the second half of 2025 due to muted production plans for the iPhone 17. At least that's what it seems like so far, speaking to suppliers.
Yeah, and it's also not shocking here, but they did say, and I quote, AI is not yet a game changer. We know Apple's been slow in AI, so it's really not shocking that they're a little bit cautious on that note. Yeah, again, they do have some issues with supply chain, and also they're not expecting a great reception for this Model 17 Slim. They're saying that the Slim model's single camera setup might not be received well. Apparently, it also has lower battery capacity, and it's a little bit more expensive, so they're worried this is not going to necessarily be adopted very well by consumers.
All right, guys, Tesla and Apple, take your pick.
All right. Yeah, no, Tesla, I mean, what more are we going to talk about Tesla right now? Tesla, we're watching that one. Again, pulling back, you guys know what I like to do with these events. Throwing on that little bit of an anchor. You see a little bit of a pullback. We got to a high of 322.60s and then pulling back right here into the anchored VWAP here at 315.37. So let's see if there's we can get any sort of direction off of this. But yeah, very strong push off of their deliveries numbers. Let's go to a higher time frame real quick and see what levels we're pushing up into, because it feels just like yesterday that we were up here. It was actually 2 days ago on Monday. So let's see if we can break the week open. I think the week open and the week high, we clipped the week open. That was, let's get a little specific. Let's see what the week open was. So this is the hourly candle. Let's go down to a 15-minute candle. Let's get that first 15-minute candle from the week high, and the open is 319.89 is the week open, and the week high is sitting at 325.5. So those are two levels that potentially maybe of interest to me, but you can see just right above a little bit of resistance from the week prior as well that we sold off from the 360s. But yeah, strength. Let's see if we can kind of push this back in. And something I'm seeing right away, Sean, again, just maybe some simple price action right here. We've been trending down for the past couple of days, and this little piece of action that we just got technically is broken. Sure, we can find support all the way maybe down here, but I think this trend break over the past couple of weeks could be a little telling here on Tesla. But Apple, I think we kind of spoke about this before. If you want to cover that one.
Yeah, no, look, I mean, I was kind of going to stay away from Apple because of where this market was going here today. And I was like, the only thing I want to do is go long on Apple. I actually don't even want to look at this short because I think all the catalysts are long right now. So I don't really want to go short Apple. So I'm not going to analyze that end of it. So that left me with where do we want to go long? And it's going to be on the note. The note's coming out in a second. I just want to edit a few things. But there it comes back in. I still think this area is somewhere because when's Tesla? Oh, okay. Well, I'd rather talk about Tesla, but I'm thinking right into here, man. I think we could start buying around 208. Just yesterday's close. I don't know if we get there, but the trajectory tells me that it is. So if you break this 200 period moving average, I don't normally like to see this so early at 9/11. Like it's still 20 minutes to the market opens, and this name is really giving back a decent amount here. I mean, $2 isn't nothing. So let's wait to see what happens. Right now, I don't want to be like, I'd rather be wrong down here than obviously wrong up here because, you know, my gut is telling me right now that this pre-market level, and if it holds, great, but it's not enough information for me right now at 9/11 to go into this trade. So, or to like rubber stamp it at these levels. So, but I will down here. I mean, I think if Apple can come back into some of these levels and we can sort of get away from this early market jitter that we see because the Nasdaq was on a downside trajectory. And now with this Tesla number coming out right here, you can see when the volume spiked, basically bringing us off of the lows and trying to turn us green. So my opinion on Tesla, and I wrote it down here on the sticky note, and unfortunately, I wrote the note 5 minutes ago when this had happened. I wrote down 325 short. I had no idea that we would stop at 322 and make a nosedive right back in. So I'm going to wait to see if Tesla does get up there. And the reason we wrote down 325, look, man, it's nothing. It's just right into here. Like if we got into this area where we had some kind of a resistance area right into here, 325, this is kind of what I was thinking, look for the short, and then if we had really gotten blown out, then maybe 330 would be something that we'd have to say, okay, that's the top. But I'm looking at this area here, 325 to 330 for a short in Tesla, but now that's looking like an amateur call because you're coming way back in off of that, and that's why I say about writing the sticky note, I've kind of just burned a level there on that. So I'm going to just adjust it maybe a little bit and think about a 322 top now for Tesla because that looks like it is coming back in quite nicely there. So 322 to 325. So I'm going to use that area now as a top for Tesla. We're getting well on in time, and I got to get this note out. So let's go back over to the desk.
Quickly, guys, just want to let you know Microsoft looking to lay off as many as 9,000 employees, reports the Seattle Times. That apparently will be less than 4% of their global workforce, but they're looking at basically removing redundancies, as they call it. So a bit of a tough look there. We never will like it when people are losing their jobs, but this is something that we've been talking a lot about, Adara, with AI kind of taking those entry-level jobs. Let's go on to the next issue, or the topic, excuse me. Netflix eyeing music and live content expansion with Spotify. So Netflix is in discussions, Adair, with Spotify to co-develop projects like concert series and music award shows. The collaboration is part of Netflix's broader push into live programming to enhance engagement and subscriber growth. And we know Netflix already does live programming. What I was saying to you off camera is Spotify doesn't do anything live.
Yeah, Spotify, I think, could definitely stand to benefit from this partnership. We know Netflix is at a really good place content-wise, and also in terms of its stock. It's right near all-time highs, though yesterday we certainly had quite the tumble. This was the 4th best performer in the Nasdaq in the first half of 2025, so we're going to have to see if that continues. And Netflix is already pushing towards doing some more music-related content. According to the Wall Street Journal report, they're working on another music competition show. They already have quite a few, and apparently they're already debuting a new music show next week. So this seems quite on par for Netflix. I'm really curious to see if Spotify will benefit and what they'll actually bring to this partnership, Sharif.
I don't want to take any of Obi's thunder, boys, but I want to show this over here because Obi was pointing it out to me. NFLX and Spotify's charts, Ob, looked very similar yesterday. This is NFLX. You move down here to Spotify, almost a carbon copy. What's a look?
A little bit of interesting action happening there on both Spotify and Flakes. They're looking relatively similar. Again, I remember yesterday I was like, where is this going? This is pretty much a waterfall and a little bit of a VWAP test to bring us a little bit back in. But yeah, no, I think that Spotify, going to Spotify, take a look at this one. Exactly the same. A little bit of a waterfall coming in off of the open. Retest the VWAP and then pulling back in. That was a little interesting to me last night and this morning, and I was like, oh boy! And then we get this bit of a news, which was a little interesting. But yeah, we'll just see. Again, selling kind of happening there from yesterday and maybe the prior day as well on Spotify. Going to Flakes here, you can see that a little bit of selling happening prior day, not necessarily the day before that, but. Again, very aggressive. We know that Netflix has been pushing all-time highs pretty much every single day. Nice little grind up, and this was one of the days in the past few weeks we got a little bit of an aggressive sell. But yeah, I think if we have more selling on board going into the shortened week, I'm just going to be looking for prior day low on both Spotify and Netflix to see if that will give us any sort of direction. It seems like VWAP was heavy on both of them yesterday, so maybe that's also a place to look on both of these stocks.
Look, I just think there's no action on Netflix or anything here this morning, but I think this is just to sell the winners type of thing, right? We had Palantir down yesterday on not much news. We had Netflix down yesterday on nothing. And, you know, some of the names that were really big winners over the year, the half year, have come to the downside. So I think you buy Netflix on any more weakness. I think you can buy it today. I think you can buy GE Vernova today. I mean, there's moves that have happened. GE Vernova is like the 10th best mover or something like that so far from, well, in the first half of 2025, which is now over. So you are getting some sell-offs. You're getting some downgrades. I think we're just getting downgraded on some of these names just so they can buy it up. So 450, they're on GE Vernova. This is probably a buy rate here, grab a couple percentage points back up to the upside. I think this is just momentarily. So I really like Netflix. I don't know. I watched a little bit of the Squid Game. I'm not super impressed with season 3 so far, but we're only we're done 2 episodes. Yeah, I think you buy this name. I mean, we talked about this yesterday on the after show as well. Content is king, and right now with WWE and everything that Netflix is doing, I think it just continues to work. So yeah, I'm excited to buy more of this stock. I haven't bought any in years and years and years, but again, like the stock, it's been one of the core holdings of mine. And yeah, just keep on watching out for Netflix going higher and higher and higher. I mean, a name like Disney, you know, has had a nice run as well to the upside. I think maybe you might want to sell some Disney and then get into some Netflix as, you know, there it is, up at these highs. Why not buy a better property? I like Netflix more than I like Disney, but, you know, you never know where this is going, especially with a weak US dollar. You know, maybe that does create more travel into the United States, which creates a bigger boon for Disney and their theme parks and whatnot. But I know that has nothing to do with Netflix and Spotify, but just from content relation, I think that Disney would continue to win, but they've already had a huge move up on that weak dollar. And I would sell some Disney and rotate it. If you're in Disney for streaming, I'd rotate it into Netflix. But GE Vernova, did my screen just flash there?
Yeah.
Okay, because it did on this. It did on mine as well. Quick check on Tesla, 314. So the sticky note is now out. We have three. I'll put it in the chat as well. We have 322 as an area to look at here, as that just gave us that top. So this is what we were waiting for. Would not be surprised if we faded back in. I mean, that number caught all of us on surprise there. Deliveries lower, production higher. So you're producing more vehicles to sit on your lot. But I'm also wondering if part of that was maybe there's something coming. Is there going to be price cuts on the cars? Why are they producing more vehicles than we all thought? So, you know, maybe something more coming. Maybe he knows something about tariffs, has a better idea on that. But anyways, right now Tesla's fading back into VWAP 312.
Little intel, guys, here at Lip-Bu Tan, the new CEO, looking at making a bold pivot here, dropping market's effort for that 18A process that he's really been focusing on to basically switch up to what they're calling 14A, which is a next-gen process that could offer an edge over Taiwan Semi's advanced 2-nanometer process. So just to give some comparisons here, the 18A technology that Intel is developing in-house is very akin to the 3-nanometer process that is already being used by TSMC. 14A, rather, would bring them more to the cutting edge, which is that 2-nanometer technology. Any more information you can give us, Adara?
Yeah, I mean, I can certainly provide some context here. Lip-Bu Tan is coming into a company that had its first, and yes, this is true, it's the first unprofitable year since 1986. Into 2024. So definitely a lot of weakness. We know former CEO Pat Gelsinger was let go at the end of that year. And Lip-Bu Tan, apparently how he's, I guess, changing this 18A strategy is going to start with stop marketing it to other, I guess, external customers, or just keep their internal customers for now. Yep. I trust his approach to this. And I think one thing that's interesting as well, Sharif, is in August of 2024, almost a year ago now, Lip-Bu Tan stepped back from the board because he was concerned about the current leadership. He was formerly involved with the company. So I think his strategic approach should certainly not be underestimated, given his pedigree.
Speaking of the board, Adara, no final decision has been made on this bold shift from 18A to 14A. The board of Intel will make an assessment by the fall and then report on that. And just to build on Adara's point, an $18.8 billion loss last year for Intel OB.
But before we get to that, guys, I got something to tell you. So VinFast. Big EV news out of Jakarta. VinFast, ticker VFS, just locked in a major financing deal with Bank Central Asia, one of Indonesia's top private banks. The partnership opens up flexible credit options for VinFast's dealer network, covering everything from EV purchases to spare parts. That means smoother inventory, better cash flow, and a stronger push to scale up across the country. It's a smart move to speed up Indonesia's shift to green mobility and a key step in VinFast's expansion game plan. So check them out. But yeah, Intel again been on my radar for the past couple of days with the kind of crazy moves that it's been having, kind of very directional legs for the majority of the day. That's what I'm looking at. You can see on Friday, pretty much selling off aggressively off of this 23.38 level, selling coming back in after a little bit of a gap up on Monday. You can see that relative volume coming back in as well. So maybe that gap up just a result of the market gapping up and Intel kind of just kind of balancing itself back in. And then look at this, the next day, back into the high of the range right there. And it's just been kind of chopping this range area for the past couple of days here. So I'm going to be continuing to watch this to see if it can come into to the upside or to the downside right here. And if we do get a hold or a break, I have no idea, but I do have Intel on watch. Again, higher time frame. It's going up to like a 3-hour right here. You can see that, yeah, we're kind of down in the dumps here after that aggressive sell-off that happened last August, July. Pretty much sideways since then, but a little bit of a curl happening within this bigger, higher time frame range that we've been kind of consolidating in since last August. So yeah, interesting to know that it's the first time they've had an unprofitable year since, what, 1980s or something? I don't know which year Adara said, but yeah, that's absolutely wild. Yeah, maybe, yeah, Something like that. That's absolutely crazy. But the price action has been very directional. Intraday is what I was talking about.
Yeah, so for me, all right, so yeah, unhealthy CNC. That's funny, the next topic there. Yeah, UNH down a little bit as well. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Tesla getting a little bit of a bump off 312 there, getting back up to the upside. VWAP 312, remember we said that, comes into it, bounces off of that. I'm looking at AMD square in the face, so I do have the sticky note is now out. What we had written down here on the note was, of course, I was gonna say, why is this showing up for relevant people for myself? Is myself? That's so stupid. Anyway, there's Elon. What have I done? Right there. But no, AMD 136 to 137 short. The trend is down. Let's just continue to play that. The sticky note is now out with a few trade ideas that I'm going to be looking at. Yesterday, we nailed AMD off the open, man. This was, for me, just my best trade, honestly, of the day was just being able to write that down and sit there and take this right in the face. And the imbalances are coming out in 30 seconds. So we'll see what winds up happening there. But this trend has been down on advanced micro devices. I mean, yeah, you know, I can see this. So we're going to wait to see if we get a 137 or so print. I'm going to say let's start it at 136, sort of where we dripped down into yesterday. There's the move down into 136, yesterday's closing price. So we're going to try to go short there, and we're not too far away. So I feel like we maybe can get that price on AMD. And yeah, as far as Intel, I just prefer to short AMD today. I think Intel has some decent catalysts behind it in the fact that it's just so low and maybe now trying to bounce back up. Brian Shannon and I talked about its anchor VWAP from like the 80s, and it's just hanging off of that anchor right now. All right, man, Tesla's a sell. So right there, coming with the market on open imbalances, Tesla's a relatively small sell, considering we've done 10 million shares. So no worries about that, but it is sending the name lower right now into the open. Sorry, Palantir, a small buy. That's sending that name. Maybe if I zoom in a little bit more, sending that name a little bit higher. Other than that, I'm not really seeing anything that's too exciting. We do have CNC on here. We're going to talk about that right now.
I'm big, Sean, real big here, 33% on, they withdrew their earnings forecast for 2025. They cited an expected slump in revenue, Adara, from commercial plans under Obamacare.
And what's interesting, too, the other thing that they said that is really fascinating, I guess they looked at their market growth in their 29 marketplace states. Now, apparently, in 22 of those states, so the vast majority, their marketplace growth is actually going to be lower than expected. Apparently, the implied aggregate market morbidity in those states is actually higher than expected. So 22 of their 29 states causing them a little bit of a problem. Basically, I guess they also had this analysis firm kind of giving them some of their guidance, and then so some factors changed. It's all very, very complex, but either way, the market doesn't like it. Neither do analysts. JP Morgan downgrading, UBS downgrading, and Centene's buddy, for lack of a better term, or I guess partner in this health insurance space, fellow stock UNH down on this. Keep an eye on Humana, keep an eye on CVS. Could certainly be a good day to look at these health insurance stocks.
33% and going here, guys. We are at the lows. What is the look?
Take advantage of this with Oscar Health. I mean, I keep hearing that these guys are one of the new entrants into the field. I don't know enough about OSCR to slap a buy on this. I said I would do some more work on it, and now that it's actually coming back in, I feel like today I will look at Oscar. So I think that this might be worth buying something. We almost had broken through the top. Obviously, now we get that news from Centene. We get UNH. Obviously, this sector has been in sort of a little bit of a tumble. But Oscar down here at 17 and change, watch out for $16 or so for Oscar. I think that's a good play. UNH, I don't have too much on CNC. I've never really looked at it. It's down 33%. I don't know. The chart looks kind of sketchy to me as far as volume and whatnot. Also, 500,000 shares on UNH. Look, this name was fine until Centene came through. So I would think that that's the daily chart. Obviously, we build that base at 3 bills. So I was just going to say, if you get anywhere near 300, I think it's a buy, but we're not going to do that today. You're only down 2% right now. We just bounced off of what I think is a great little line here. This is your 200 period moving average on a 5-minute chart. So right now you're trying to bounce off of that. And yeah, I would look in and around this area, but because it's UNH, because it's bad news in the sector, I think you do probably fall even more than this. So I would say a clean break right there of 317 gets you into 312. So I'm going to be looking elsewhere, but if you are trading these names, I would say watch out for that 317 break. Right now we do have a dollar spread, so it's pretty hard to tell what's going on. Like, we were just down at 317, now you're at 321, so I would say watch out for UNH today. Could be a little slippery, that's for sure, but I'm a buyer down there, 312, 313 or so. So that's something that I'm doing. So yeah, so far so good on that one. Obi, any thoughts here as we have 1 minute left?
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time I was seeing this. Like I said earlier, was only brought to my attention in the pre-market today, and is a pretty strong stock, relatively speaking, kind of just a nice uptrend all the way up into 2022. Since then, we've been making a little bit of a sideways consolidation. Now we're finally kind of breaking some of these prior lows all the way from 2019, coming into prices we haven't seen since 2017, 15 to 17 as well. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be watching this one. I think maybe potentially a lot of players, or a lot of anybody who was long, I would say from 17 to now, definitely a little bit underwater. So let's see what happens off of the open. Selling off pretty aggressively. It's going to be SSR off of the open, and I'm definitely going to have a pretty close eye on what the tape is doing coming in off of the open as well on CRC. So sorry, CNC. Let me pull the book up here so you guys can see as well. So yeah, we'll be watching. So 37.50 is currently trading. Let's see what these things do off of the open. I'm gonna try to be a little bit patient and yeah, just wait for things to fall into our love. I think
yeah, I feel like
we
the
did well
futures
doing that yesterday. Right?
Yeah, I feel like I'm about to get short here on the futures, which I'm not sure we want to do it, but 10 seconds right now. The countdown is now on. It's actually under now. So we've got to thank Origenics for the opening bell sponsorship. So there we go. We are now open. I'm into an initial position right now. AMD ripped up. We're short AMD right now, 135.90. Again, we wrote down 136. Let's see if we can have a similar trade that we did to yesterday as we start to rip upside right now. We are short the futures as well, but these are two very, very early positions. These are like half units type size as we watch to see what's going on right now with a nice little bump up there in the futures and in Tesla. Okay, not in Tesla, sorry, and in AMD. As we go over to Tesla, there comes Tesla right back in. Looks like the short idea that we had was right, but unfortunately, you had to catch it all the way up there. So now we wait to see what exactly the idea is behind these numbers. All right, I'm going to get a little shorter now on AMD because I still like the trade. I like the idea. So there we go. Our average price now is 136. It's not like we have a great short here, but that's what we're going to do right now on AMD. And again, just trying to play some of the momentum that we had seen in the space, right? We were down on this area as far as semis are concerned. So we're going to go short AMD, and here we go. It's starting to print now. Let's take something out, Obi. There it is. Oh, we just missed those 80s, but that's okay. There we go. It comes back in. There it is. Your first winner right there for me on AMD, but we're only out of a piece, 15 cents. Let's not ring any registers yet. Looking to see where we're going to be in trouble on AMD. Watching out for 137.50 or so on that name. Short the futures, short AMD right now, and it looks like it's trying to get upside against us. 137 was my stop for advanced micro devices.
Yeah, I'm watching some of the chips here as well. Just again,
yeah, 130.
I'm watching Tesla tape as well as CNC. CNC holding that 37 as of right now, so doing pretty well. I'm not really seeing anybody aggressively hit the bids just yet. Is the tap changing? No, never mind. It is open. CNC.
Okay.
I thought it wasn't open yet, but it's definitely open. I was like, it's 2 minutes off of out the open. Sometimes the NICE stocks take a little bit of a time. But I'm also watching Tesla chop around pretty aggressively. We got down to 308s and then ripped back up to 313s, 314s, and then just chopping in that range as of right now. So being a little bit patient for those. And I think something like I mentioned just right before the open, something I realized as well, kind of going over some of my trades, is like I'm spending a lot of effort and risk and maybe mental capital on a lot of things that, yeah, sure, maybe in a slower market, maybe you want to dabble in some things, but in a market like this where I'm finding a lot of things kind of falling into my lap, if I am really patient and seeing things that are distinctly different after it's chopped everyone else up, I think if I'm more patient for those opportunities, it's becoming a little bit more clear and a little bit better here. So I think I'm going to wait for some of those to show up. And what's going on?
No, I just missed Apple. Apple went down. I was at 208.05. It went to 208.12s right there on that. Okay, here we go. Now we're starting to print a little bit. It's print city time right now. Let's see if we can have some diamond hands and see if we can try to hold on to a little bit of this trade here for AMD as, you know, it came right into the levels that we were talking about right here on the note, right? We talked about there for AMD between 136 and 137. So when I look over and I'm short 136.15, that's all right, but it does go up into 136.50s, which is exactly the price that we wrote down. So now let's go down to the downside. The only thing that's fading out for us right now are the TQQs. The Nasdaq is starting to head to the upside a little bit, so we gotta have to look at Apple, see what that's doing. 81, like 81.20 or so. I was gonna look at that as maybe our out here. Let me zoom back out just a little bit. I don't wanna be too wrong on this though, like you could get really burned. Let's just use 81 as our stop and go spot there for the TQQs, okay? So for the futures, if it does go back a little bit higher, we're gonna get out of that one. All right, what's going on with Apple now, as we just said? Apple, boom goes a dynamite up to 210. We like that trade for you if you're long on Apple. Quickly checking on Big Bear AI, the name from yesterday. Remember, we had sold some of this at, I can't remember the price anymore that we sold this. Was it around that $7 mark? It was $6.98 or something like that. I'll double check for you guys tomorrow, or after this. But there goes Big Bear AI, a nice move back there to the upside as that's starting to go. And oh boy, here we go, man. We're almost at our one daily goal already here with AMD as it's coming back in. There it is. There's a bang right there. Yes, sir, Sharif. We're getting lit up a little bit right now as we go to the downside. Let's go AMD, man. This is a big time trade for me again. As I said, with more confidence breeds more shares and hopefully breeds more success. But also too much confidence and you're over trading and you're using too much leverage and so on and so forth. So we're in a great spot here for us on AMD. You're not going to wipe the smile off this guy's face. No, you are not. Not today, man. We had a great night with the family last night. It's fireworks, and now it's fireworks in the market, man. We talked about getting enough sleep. I didn't get enough, but it don't matter, man. The charts don't lie. Here we go. We are coming back in. Let's get a little bit more out here at 58. So far, so good on this one, man. That's a couple days in a row. If you've joined me like the last 3 or 4 months, man, we're doing this every day, Obi. And there it goes again. It's a huge move right now. Hey, Sharif, what's going on, my guy? Hope you're doing good in the background right now. Let's keep this party to the moon right now with the futures, but it's downside for AMD, Tesla, Obi. What are you in? You're in CNC. Okay, so I'm going to give that back to you. 309 right now for Tesla.
Yeah, I'll cover CNC right after we get back from Madeira.
Yeah, I just want to mention here, Hut 8 HUT, nice push to the upside. This one announcing that their natural gas-fired power plants in Ontario have received 5-year capacity contract here with the Ontario Independent Electricity System Operator. So keep an eye here on HUT. Short float in this one, 15.7%. So almost 16% short float for HUT. Moving in tandem with these crypto names, I want to just remind you guys as well, no economic data to worry about today other than that lower than expected ADP print we got at 8:15 a.m. Back to you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no. So I was talking to Sean about this CNC. I did like the short above that 37, and then I kind of tried to chase down into it. It was trading like 37, what was it, 37.40s, 37.30s, and then it slams down to 36.60s, and I'm like, oh boy, that was that's kind of what I was looking for. I was looking for people slamming into the bid here to really give me a little bit of confirmation, but I missed that push, and I'm gonna get out of this one right here. So nothing too crazy. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, I definitely want to test the waters out. Let's get into a little bit of a long and see what that gives us here. But yeah, people are definitely hitting the bid on this SSR name. The futures are ripping.
Yes, that's
ripping to the upside.
That's the problem.
Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, temporary problem here. 81.06 or so out on the futures. Okay, we already talked about that. So here goes AMD, a nice move up to the upside right now. 136.40. Remember, man, we are responsible traders. I'm going to stop out if this breaks back above this 137 and change area right now. We do have another position on for the futures right now, of course, as we've talked about that, as that's trying to come back in, and same kind of a thing for that stop up here in and around $81. So here we go, man. I want to make sure that everybody hits the like, hit the subscribe. Look at our chat, man. Our chat is popping off. I want to say thank you to everybody in there. Yeah, Luck and Coffee's flying. We can look at this, man. We talked about Oscar. Thank you to Dallas as well there. So get into it, hit the like, hit the subscribe. It's the only way to be part of our chat, is to get in. the likes. To get in the chat is to subscribe right there. I found this nice little kind of linen shirt. I was trying to do Miami Joe over there today. So we've got this, plus we've got the gray pants. So we've got like, you know, a little bit of little bit of a flow here today. You know what I'm saying? Obi, as you know, you got to do that kind of stuff. And if you notice in the back, man, it's Studio 8 time.
Yes.
Being renovated right now. So we want to thank Russell and everybody else in the background for working hard on that as we look to improve and give you the best experience you can as a viewer, visually, different looks coming ASAP, man. It is Studio 8. The renovation is live and it is real. So, all right, we just had another move up there and I got distracted, honestly, just talking about that right there. We should have been shorter up there at 137, near 137. So we're gonna put on a little bit more shares here on AMD as that's floating around. It looks like we can slap a big fail right now on this trade. And look, man, part of the show is the honesty and the integrity that we have around here. And this is gonna be a loss. If the TQs goes up any more, then we will stop out in and around 81. I told you 81.06 is the stop there on the TQQs, man. What's up to Adam? What's up to everybody in the chat? Thank you so much for continuously coming back every single day, man. We love our fans and, not fans, viewers and fellow traders. So again, guys, thank you for all that support. Here comes the TQs a little bit back down to the downside. So I have 2 positions on right now. You've got your 1 position. Is there anything else you guys want us to look at, man? Put it in the chat. Thank you so much for all the nice comments, man. We're just here, man. Couple, honest traders, trying to make a living, showing you what we're doing every single day. So, thanks to Sharif and Adair and everybody for all their hard work, right? So let's just keep this going.
Thank you all. There is one that I'm looking at, Sean, and that's Apple. Apple's actually pushing. So I was like, market's ripping, what's ripping? I was looking for that Apple continuation, and guess what? Apple's the one. Tesla's kind of chopping around in its range, so I'm gonna let that one kind of charge up a little bit and see where that takes us. But Apple definitely taking a little bit of a push to the upside, breaking past that prior day high. Some prior levels here I'm seeing on the weekly. Let's go a little bit more specific. Zoom, 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 zoom. Call it Mazda. 214.56 is that prior high on the weekly. So we're about.
Are we getting that high?
No, we're not there just yet, but I'm saying about 3 points away from there. So if we're breaking out prior day's high and we start to pull back and hold higher highs, higher lows, I'm thinking that is maybe potentially in the next bus stop there on Apple there. But yeah, what an aggressive bid. 209s all the way up to 211s there. Is it, does she use that concept?
Yeah, that's, so it must be something that you guys have talked about in your like journeys as as whatever, not student, as when you guys had those talks there,
right?
With Brankles and those guys, Trader Talks, yeah. Shout out to Satya. I hope she's doing well. She was liking Ethereum a lot. So Ethereum had a great run. So hopefully, Satya, hopefully you're doing well, and hopefully Ethereum has treated you well, and you were able to get out when we ripped over $3,000 there or so for that one. But let's go, man. Again, this is what we do, man. Like I trade for you. I trade for the family. I trade to have a good time. And there it goes. There goes AMD. We talked about this play. So nice move downside for AMD. I love being in here every single day, and I want to thank all of you guys for being here with us as well. NVIDIA, what a move for NVDA. This is what got me pretty nervous, to be honest with you, about what we're doing here. And that was why is NVIDIA Rip City? But oh boy, there it is. It is our 1 day goal met right there again. It was like I meet it, it goes against me, it comes back. So what's up? Nice to meet you, Daily Goal. We're here right now on that trade because there goes AMD, and we just cashed out right there at the 200 period moving average, man. Like I'm not here for my looks, I'm here hopefully for my trading. And right now you can see it's a nice downside play right now for AMD. And again, on all over the sticky note, right? I mean, these are the things that I'm trying to trade. I'm trying to look at names that are moving around as well, and anything for you guys. I'm here for you in the chat. Let me know what you guys have. Right there, Palantir. I recently bought the dip buy in this name as well. I do think Palantir goes to 200 or 150 first, but I like Palantir here. I think it's just taking a little bit of a holiday, man. I think it's relaxing. We talked about some of the movement. This is your #1 name of 2025 so far, not P&L wise, percentage wise year to date, right? now. It's given back some over the last couple of days, but Palantir now getting that boost today. Look, the market's flat, Palantir up 0.75. I like the stock. JP Morgan, if we're going to go back into the banks, JP Morgan, let's go on this one. Woohoo! This is another name that we've had in our account for a minute, man. JP Morgan downside today, but the banks, we didn't talk about this, Sharif, actually, off the jump, but most banks there, they get the clearance. JP Morgan goes up 8% on the dividend. I think Citigroup goes up 8% on their dividend, and Wells Fargo goes 12% on their divvy. So nice movement there for banks. It's coming back to the downside, but we like JP Morgan. Oh boy, Obi, that's a nice play right there. All right, so I'm on Apple Watch as well. I don't have my Apple Watch on. Oh, and by the way, Ramin, absolutely hot fire yesterday. I don't know if anybody saw this thing, but she spent a lot of time on this. This is freaking hilarious right now. This is me, like as if she finds my South Carolina hat right there. This is Neil. It's cockroaches. Oh boy, we can play this, right? Can we get the audio? Yeah, Ramin's gonna set up the audio right here on this one because this is hilarious. I want to thank 50 likes. You guys aren't doing enough, man. There's Sharif liking this. He called us fashionistas. I mean, this was a hilarious moment.
Those are cool.
And she babied us all up. Like, this is exactly my sweater. I don't know. Well, that's not me. I have this sweater. Like, exactly that. And that's probably exactly what Neil was wearing. Like, this is amazing. Go over to Instagram. Thank you, Ramin, for all of that, man. We really love that. That was hilarious.
Oh,
Fabian
God.
and Ramin.
That? What just happened?
I don't know. Go ahead. Sorry, Apple slammed down?
60, 70 pennies almost?
Sorry. Oh, that's a buying opportunity, my guy. That's not really.
Oh boy.
Are you long that name?
I was short, and I slammed down that aggressively. Sorry, but yeah, no. Going back to that. That's absolutely crazy. What AI can do now. That's.
Well, that's actually
so
me as a baby. Actually,
that's actually you as a baby.
Come on, Obi, man.
Oh,
You're that gullible, Mike.
All right, let's see what's going. We'll figure out what's happening here with Apple right after we get back from Madeira.
I don't have anything on Apple for you guys. I want to talk about a small cap. Enovix Corporation announcing a $60 million share repurchase program that is a 28% short float and notably $2 billion market cap for ENVX Enovix. This one has rallied in the past as well as you send it back to the guys.
All right. So you're on Apple over there. Go ahead, man. There it is. Are we ready to play this?
Yeah. Let's play. I want to see this.
I want to hear it too. But why is this? Don't take this off our screen until we're ready to go. Can they hear it?
Okay. They can hear
I have no idea if you guys can hear this. Can they hear this? Can you guys hear this? I don't know. No one's talking in my ear. So, okay, Fabian, you got to tell me before that happens, guys. Right there. Okay, so sorry that was up. I don't know if it was working or not. Okay, so we got stopped out right there of our TQQ position, which is fine, man. The futures are. You might win. But now I hear it.
You like the cockroaches you are. That's all
you
I
might
want
win.
to do with you.
Might win.
Do with you.
Might win.
Do with you guys is crush you like the cockroaches you are. That's
What?
Oh, come on now. Whoa, hold on a second. Nice to the
Cockroaches.
and not wear an Apple Watch on your wrist when you're being a fashionista. That's forbidden. Do you really want to go to hell because you happen to have your Apple Watch?
Hell?
Do not do that. Only when you're working out is permitted.
The going to hell might be a little harsh on that one.
You lose your soul and you go to hell.
I'd like to say thank you to Kevin O'Leary, but
epic.
you might win. I can't, guys, drop some comments, man. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. I'm like having some kind of ways. I cannot believe I said that. Going to hell is a little bit harsh. Like that was hilarious, man. I'm glad that we have that good relationship with Kevin and everything like that, because that was awesome, man. I love that. I absolutely love that. Thank you, Ramin, for that. So, yeah, anyways, that was fantastic. All right, so back over to trading a little bit. So we did get stopped out. We're going to go to Adair in a second. We did get stopped out of our TQQ position. I'm just wondering right now, is enough? Has the market now given us the idea that we're just going upside right now? So there it goes, man. I actually want to watch. I want to play that again in about a half hour, because I am like, I'm over the moon with that. That is the best thing I've ever seen in my life, sans my kids being born. And my wife actually saying yes. So that was a great opportunity for me as well. But that was great. Thank you, Ramin, for all of that. Create more, like as if it has all of that in there. And if you notice, O'Leary's wearing 2 watches there. Yep. My Apple Watch is like the exact band and everything that I'm wearing. That was amazing, man. Get going, chat, man. I'm glad you guys are all over this. Thank you for supporting us again. All right, let's go to Adara, and then we're going to talk some more. But wow. I love that.
Yeah, I just want to mention Microsoft here. As mentioned earlier, company has a new round of Xbox layoffs. This was reported this morning. Now, a spokesperson for Microsoft basically saying that these layoffs are going to be impacting less than 4% of their total workforce. Either way, MSFT pushing nicely to the upside here. Really no red candles in sight for the last, 10 or so minutes. Back to you.
Yeah, no, this volatility here or this chop in Apple is coming in pretty aggressive. We saw that with that first kind of a swipe down into the bid, and then we tested, was it 112s so far? 212. Yeah. 01 is the current day high on Apple. But yeah, that aggressive bid kind of slowing down here. We're getting a little bit of a pullback on the market as well. So let's see. Again, let's see if we can crack back below that 22,700. That's been some aggressive 15-minute candles all the way from, when is this? About 9 o'clock right there. So yeah, let's see when and if this bid will come back at all. Oh boy, 212s now trading. So yeah, maybe we are poised for some fresh highs there, Sean.
Yes, and we want to make sure that everybody scans that QR code right here because we do have a new promo for you. This is savvy Canadian traders looking to boost their exposure can now tap into the Nasdaq 100 and the S&P 500 with Beta Pro, 3 times daily leveraged ETFs featuring built-in FX hedging. That's key. You and I talked about that yesterday. It'll be built-in FX hedging for Canadian investors. This aims to amplify short-term market moves, minimizing the impact of currency swings. Very important. We showed the dollar swing. Whether you're feeling bullish or bearish, these ETFs are built for active day traders ready to take on the market. Read the full risk disclosure, however, in the prospectus at betapro.ca before investing. Scan that QR code to get all your information. You guys know that I invest in Canadian hedged, opportunities and tools, whatnot, assets. Okay, so first of all, thank you for Beta Pro. I'm going to definitely check that out. But 3 times daily, great tool for day trading, great tool for swing trading, right? So definitely watch out for that. What I was looking for, 3 times daily levered issues, right? So go check that out. Thank you for all of that. But okay, so again, what are at some key levels right now? Amazon, and I know I think we're talking about a bunch of different names here, to be honest with you, but Amazon right now, yeah, not really at a level, it's just at VWAP, it's hitting the scanners. I just want to make sure that you guys understand, see Texas Instruments, SMCI now popping around. So I'm not just pulling these names completely out of my you-know-what. We are looking for names that are hitting certain levels. So there's the VWAP scanner, right? You just saw SMCI going off right there. There it is back to VWAP. So these are the kind of things that we're looking at. We don't just pick these trades out of thin air. I'm looking for obvious levels, things that I like. And there it is, man. Wow. Despite getting hit on, what a reload right there, by the way, on AMD. We talked about if it... Yes, OB. Let's go, man. We are really happy with what's going on right now. It's a face slapper extraordinary. I had more hair there. The more slapping, the more these follicles are coming out. But there we go. AMD right back to VWAP. We're taking more out right now on advanced micro devices. Yeah, man, the party's on. The party's on, man. Party on Wayne, party on Garth. You ever watch Wayne's World?
No, I don't think.
Hold on a second. I gotta find something.
Oh boy.
You got to watch Wayne's World, man.
Yeah.
Are you not Canadian, my guy? I mean, come on, man. Wayne's World.
It,
my wife did a thing where it was like, are you Canadian? It's like, have you had a beaver tail? Have you visited a national park?
Yes.
Have you curled before? Probably. No, that's the one that most people haven't been doing. But okay. So anyway, so far so good. Obi, I'm going to pass it back over to you. I don't know what happened to that CNC position. Was it a winner, loser?
No, I think I got stopped out of it a couple times, and I'm like, okay, well, there's continuation to the downside happening there on CNC. So a little bit of a miss on in terms of getting with the trend there. Yeah, aggressive selling, kind of looking at those SSR names and being like, all right, understanding the mechanic, being like only people with inventory can actually hit the bid here, and the bid's definitely getting hit on that name. Trading at 36s now, so oh boy, some aggressive selling coming in. Again, like we said, we haven't seen some of these levels on CNC since about, 2015 to 2019, I think it was. So absolutely crazy. Some prices we haven't seen in a long time, and a lot of players definitely a little bit offside. Anybody who was long over those past, 10, 15 years or so, definitely a little bit under the water. So again, you see someone hitting the bid, they probably are holding inventory on an SSR name, whether they got long in the pre-market or whether they've been long. I have no idea, but that's something, a bit of a confluence, definitely that you can potentially look for. Oh boy, 213s here on Apple now.
Yeah, what?
Yep.
Obi, we should be, well, you already are long. Great trade. Wow.
I'm short, but yeah.
Oh, you're short. Oh my God, sorry about that, my bad. Yeah, good trade there, Joe. Joe's long Apple. Just in day trading or yesterday swing account? Yeah, this guy's liking Apple. We love Apple. Yesterday we were all over this one. This is the only long that I had written down on the note today. But again, right, it's I don't have the trade on board right now on this, but and I know you're short, so we'll have to wait to see what happens with Apple. Love this trade. We've been long Apple for the last 2 days now. We hit it at 200. We hit it yesterday. It was my #1 P&L name yesterday was Apple. So there it goes, man. Nice upside play. And sir, I hope it comes back down for you there, Obi. But I know you have a plan, so we're not worried about it. Whenever you have a plan, you know, it either works or it doesn't. So, you know, Obi's going to be carefully looking at that. JP Morgan right now, we did talk about some bank stocks. You know what? Anyways, I just want to bring this up. I'm going to talk about something else. It's downside trajectory right now, breaking through 290. Definitely an area to look at here if you are trading JP Morgan. Looks like it wants to take and break that movement right there. Let's look at something that's maybe flying around a little bit more. What about quantum names, right? I mean, a lot of money being made on these names. So here it comes back in. I had said that QBTS probably a downside push at some point. Come on, AMD, get down. We're having a good day. We're having a pretty decent day right now, P&L wise, despite losing on the futures. The futures are kind of hovering. We'll wait to see if we can make a play there. But quantum, looking like this could be a dip buy opportunity right here at 1480, right? You come right into the pre-market low, trying to hold this level. My only worry is the markets had this move up and quantum came back in. So watch out for QBTS. Rigetti, another name that I know is there. Look, for me, shout out to my good friends in Italy. You guys know who you are. Hopefully you're watching right now. The best place for pasta in Italy. You have a favorite pasta?
I don't know. No, really.
Just for a generic one, I like penne. You know, you can get penne pretty much everywhere. Definitely loving penne. What was that call over there? What was that, Ramin? Fail. I never heard of that pasta. What about do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite? You like some rigatoni? Spaghetti over there. I like that. A little thin, little linguine action you can grab as well. Capellini. Okay, so now we're getting a little bit to the next level right now as far as all that is concerned. There's Adara chiming in as well. We'll leave Obi to, so Apple, I guess, stopped out. There it goes right now. AMD, man, nice move. Right back into VWAP. And we say an Obi line right now, and we go, oh boy, right now, because this is a big time win right now for us as we've reloaded once, twice, Obi thrice, a whole bunch of times, reloading this name as here we go. Man, we are coming in right now on AMD. So I hope this keeps on going back to the upside. Yeah, tortellini is really nice, but there's more to tortellini. You know, I'm just talking about you get a nice little sauce. What kind of pasta you liking? Where's Chef Joe at right now in the chat? But yeah, so far so good here today.
Yeah, I think again got stopped out of that Apple there. Definitely gave it a little bit wider than I needed to, but I was like, oh boy, there's definitely a little bit of a buyer here, holding that trend pretty well. 213s. We were talking about that prior level being 214 halves. So I did want to get involved with that, but missed along a little bit there. But let's see if we can kind of catch a little bit of a sell. Like I said, futures very, very strong. Apple very strong, kind of breaking out of some prior levels. We talked about that consolidation break. That was, oh boy, all the way down in 203s. That was. So let's see if we can get a break in this trend a little bit here. But again, every time this thing pulls back, let's say about 20, 30 pennies, we keep on getting this aggressive grinding bid back to the upside. So I definitely want to be a little bit respectful when that does come in. But this market is very, very strong. You can see the distinct difference, though, between the ES and the Nasdaq here, as the ES taking a little bit of a breather, but the Nasdaq still holding pretty strong. And again, some of these tech names as well potentially coming in. And oh boy, see, this is what I mean. This aggressive selling. So we were just trading at 213s, slams down about 50 pennies right here, 212 halves now. So now we're moving, I guess we're slowing down in terms of that bid. But let's see when and if that bid can kind of catch back on. Or is this the high for the day and we kind of pull back and kind of consolidate as well? Kind of, different iterations. I'm just thinking about what those potential ones could be going forward today. But yeah, that 214's absolutely within range there as we go. So, but that CNC, oh boy, that short's coming in real nice as that continuation. Again, trading below 36s now. So, oh boy, had to stay involved with that one on the short side. I remember punching, like I said, I punched short a little bit, but being SSR, I can't be doing that. I have to sit on the offer. I have to provide the liquidity in order for me to get filled, and can't be punching, haphazardly into the market on an SSR name, hoping to get the fill.
On one of the best days of my life, we had orecchiette. So this is a great pasta. It's like a little shell type of thing. We had this dish on my wedding day. So orecchiette there, a nice pasta that is now one of my favorites. So that was a little bit of a little bit of an extension there to that talk. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy good food wherever you are, and hopefully we all don't eat for function like my guy Sharif over there, because then he won't be able to enjoy part of the best parts. Okay, right here, we do got some super chats right here. Game on, there it is. Yeah, party on, Wayne, party on, Garth. There it is. Thank you, David, for that quote. The studio needs some more spackle. Yes, it does, and that's what's happening right now. We are getting ready to rock and roll with this. I mean, we're huge on this project, man. We really, really appreciate all of you guys and your patience for as we build out Studio 8, man. It's going to be absolutely great. It's going to be, change the way the whole show is done. More interactions, cool, I don't want to say cooler looks, but different looks, which are going to be cooler. All right, what's your advice on holding winners longer? Go ahead. Okay, yeah, okay. I had puts on Intel 22 strike expiring August 15th. I bought yesterday around 23.05. I sold it open, seeing it chips running, and it made another $4 profit. I mean, yeah, I should have held longer, right? I mean, I don't know if you should have or not. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to have your plan of action. Who was this? Market tendies. You got to have some tendies and enjoy chicken tendies. And that's the thing. When you make profit on, by the way, bye-bye AMD, I would say you could always look at the sticky note too. Not that I'm always right, but if we're thinking about shorting some of the chip names, you may have something there. I mean, if you and I are thinking alike, there goes Intel. Intel should have made the list. I mean, I'm happy AMD did. I mean, we're up huge on AMD, man, already today. But yeah, I had thought about Intel on there. And yeah, just with that negative catalyst there, down 5%. Look, it's a great call. You always want to put some profit into your pocket. My only advice on all of that, again, would be something similar to what we always say. Take out half, take out 2/3, take out something to buy yourself a nice sweater or some pasta or something like that, and then maybe hold the rest if you do think that you have a potential runner on. I mean, just for right now, I'm still in 75% right now of this trade here with AMD. So I'm definitely holding on for a little bit lower. But options game is, and I don't need to tell you guys this because you're obviously in options. Options game is a much different game than sitting around because you have expiration. If I can be short, we have to be short and cover our positions every day at 4 o'clock. So when Obi and I are covering some of our trades here, it's not necessarily because we think it's wrong. We're running out of time. And that's what happens. But here we go, man. We are at the lows of this move here for AMD. Look what the futures are doing. Oh boy, it's 2 times daily goal. I know that that doesn't mean anything when people don't know what the goal is, but at the end of the day, I'm just trying to show you guys that if you can stick with your positions, stick with what you believe in, and trade strong, we can all do this together. So there it is, man. It's AMD, and the futures trade is still doing nothing. I'm actually debating a short right now, but we'll wait to see that trade come through. Obi, let's go.
Yes, sir. So top one, looking to trade futures like the Nasdaq, SPY, or even Bitcoin. Top One Futures is one of the fastest growing prop firms out there. They give traders the chance to manage up to $1 million in capital. Pick your path, instant funded, challenge, or pro account, and start trading your way to real payouts and even a live account. In the last 90 days alone, they've paid out over $10 million and earned 1,000 plus 5-star reviews from real traders. Use the discount code TTV to save on any account. Scan the QR code or head to toponefutures.com and start trading towards your next payout, guys. We'll be right back after Adara.
Take a look here at this market. The Nasdaq is doing a bit of a triple bottom here at this 544 level, but slightly lower highs. Unclear what's going to happen here, but really nice push off of that previous support around 544. Only economic number we had today was the ADP non-farm employment change. Again, much lower print than expected. We were expecting about 99,000, coming in at negative 33K. TSLA was one of the biggest names on watch this morning, initially gapping up and then giving back almost all of that move at this point, with weaker than expected Q2 deliveries. Again, their production higher than expected, but deliveries were a bit disappointing. Another Mag 7 on watch here is going to be Microsoft, MSFT. Bloomberg reporting that the company is doing even more layoffs in their Xbox unit, though Microsoft, a spokesperson for the company, said all these layoffs are going to impact less than 4% of their total workforce. Then we have NFLX, Netflix, and Spotify on watch after the Wall Street Journal reported that the companies are in talks for some potential collaborations. That is NFLX hanging out near yesterday's lows of day. Spotify not doing much either. Back to you.
Sarah. Markets continuing to push a little bit higher, and CNC continuing to push a little bit lower here. So, oh boy, what a continuation on this one. So, yeah, the short was definitely the play here. Oh boy, this is not Apple tape. Let me pull that up here. Apple tape. That's Apple tape right there. 212 halves currently trading at on Apple, and yeah, 35 halves here on CNC. Oh boy.
We're starting to get going.
Crazy, yeah. I mean, this is really starting to look at the futures. The Nasdaq now taking a little bit of a rip back up here. So the question becomes, what is strong? Wow, Tesla came all the way back down to 304s. Oh boy, what a reversion that was. A little bit of a miss on my part. But guess what? Involved with a little bit of Apple here. Definitely held that initial push a little bit too aggressively. 2 points is a little much to give on Apple. But again, getting just as aggressive, maybe a little bit more on that 213 was what I did a little bit better there. With the market pushing back up, I'm looking at the constituents, and it seems like Google and NVIDIA and Apple are kind of the ones that are leading the pack here. So let me take a quick look. I usually don't really look at Meta, but I know it's Meta's up there for sure. And let's see what Meta is up to as well. Is that playing any sort of a part in this? No idea, but once I fix this chart, okay, so a little bit of a sideways chop there on Meta. But you can see here, NVIDIA, boom, to the upside, about to push its high a day right there. Yeah. And then Apple as well, we're looking at that one. That one's taking a little bit of a breather back down to 212s from a high of 213.34s. And then Google is kind of the last one that is showing us some strength here. 176.70s now trading, so straight to the upside, looking very in line with these here futures. So where is the next trade? That's what I'm asking. So leave it up in the chat. What are you guys looking at? What have you guys traded? It's only been about 35 minutes since the open. Wow. And a lot of opportunity. Tesla reversion, Apple continuation, CNC continuation. Some of these trades we talked about in the pre-market. Amazon, maybe. And yeah, definitely some good ideas over there.
I'm going to jump into one right now. So I just want to tell you guys I've changed up something. I'm going to stop out of AMD right now. We've just been crushing getting it out of it here at 134, 135 change. Came into the 200 period moving average. But as you had mentioned, the futures are not giving up. They're trying to go a little bit higher right now. I'll try it again at 40, but I'm going to stop out at 60. If we break above there, the high of the day right now, that's 62s. Did I put in 61s? I did. So let me go 66s. 136.66. Stop out. You know, and this is what you have to do as a trader, right? I feel confident about this, is once things change, like in the open, we are going to give it to 137. I'm just noticing that this is too strong. Its best friend, NVIDIA, is also very strong. Back up there to the upside right now as well, looking to take out all-time highs again is NVIDIA. I mean, we have to get up to 158 or so for that, but right now NVIDIA is strong, AMD strong as well. So we're going to back away. What's the thesis here for Amazon? Okay, so I just want to say, if the market's going to go for a jog today, which it looks like it wants to, Amazon's been beat up. We know that Bezos was selling. Shout out to Venice there. This guy put on a crazy wedding, apparently. Oh, I saw Oprah Winfrey was there. Who wasn't there right now? Maybe that's where Neil is. But nice move there to the upside for Amazon today off of Bezos selling nearly 3/4 of $1 billion worth, $737 million worth of shares, Amazon gone, right there, sold back into the market, right? So anyways, there's the long right now, breaking back above 220. I'm using 220 as my out. So let's see how far we can go right now. It's only 15 cents in the money, but again, it's a new position. So right there, a new idea that we had. I hope I articulated it okay. And that's a new one for me right now. Amazon, let's see how high we can fly as it's pushing back down. Remember, if these futures lose, we can get out at 220. If we break back down below 220, I mean, VWAP right here is 2. Let's use VWAP then, because it's been a good day and we're fine right now. 290, and the day doesn't matter, it's just the confidence, right? If you're having a bad day, you're gonna start to question, obviously, some of the plays that you're putting on. I'm not questioning anything right now. So 219.75 is where we'll get out. That's where VWAP is. And loading back up, 220, if we can get a bid in and around 220, we'll take some more there on Amazon. I guess my Apple 208 is not gonna fill, so I can cancel that one. Let's check out Big Bear AI, another big moving name here. Wow, up to $7. Here goes Big Bear AI. Let's get on that bear right now as that's trying to get a little bit higher. Good reload spot for Amazon. We're going to try a little bit there. Sorry, for AMD. We'll try a little bit up here at 29. I'm at 29 and I'm at 40. And then if 40 breaks, we're going to be getting out at the high of the day if that's in trouble at all. But here comes Amazon pushing right back into our level. Here we go, man. If anybody else in the chat has anything to talk about, Marvell's been good today. Robinhood, people talking about Robinhood now as well. And I'm going to run that scan again. So Fabian, I do have it up right now. Let's do this right now. I'm going to refresh this as Fabian always tells me to do. I'm going to start this poll. Get your tickers into the chat stat, okay? When I hit this poll, I'm going to review this at 10:20, okay? After Adara comes back from her update, I'm going to review this. There we go, man. A nice move up there for Amazon finally. Start poll. Get these two tickers mentioned. Correct. So there we go. We're going to start the poll. I don't know why it's saying that. Maybe I have to refresh it again right now, but start putting some, you got to put hashtag into the chat. We'll figure out what's going on. Fabian's here, and we'll figure that all out. So right now, voting game on. Put your stuff into the chat ASAP. Uh-oh. The Renault. Check out this Renault. There it is, man. Studio 8. As we go, it's coming. I don't know exactly the date of expectation, but we're blowing up the whole studio right there. Hopefully there's no one hurt during that. But where Adara is sitting, where we're sitting, Obi, everything behind us right now. Yeah, that's a nice promo. There's in the back, Russell taking everything down as well. Bigger screens, more areas to talk. Just a big time studio renovation happening. We're calling it Studio 8 because it's kind of like the 8th iteration of all this. Neil and I started with green screens behind us, and right now we are upping that game. As I think
we've shown some of those older videos on screen, right? So it's amazing how far the show's come. And I was talking about this yesterday as well. I remember sitting at home and a few years ago and kind of watching the show, and it's absolutely amazing to see the development and the growth and everything that's happened, and you're getting this full-on renovation of the studio now. So a lot of exciting stuff in store. So that was my corner for a couple of weeks there, and then I had to move to the back office for now until we get some of the stuff locked in. And the flooring as well, right? The flooring gotta have some floors as well. So gonna wait for that. Do you have any idea what kind of flooring is coming in? I'm curious because we just did some renos at my house, and we were going through some of the flooring options, and I was curious.
For me, I don't know. We do have, but anyways, thanks for all the patience of everybody as we get really super excited for some renos happening. I'm looking for the reloaded right here. So we reloaded AMD. I mean, whether or not this works or not, I mean, the futures are starting to go upside. We do have a little bit of a hedge on with our play on Amazon, but there we go. So we'll see. If this pushes the high of the day, 136.60, we're out. Obviously, I do know that I'm fighting this trend right now. We talked about AMD being a little stronger than we thought. We didn't think the market would sort of inch up like this, but it is doing that. So watch out now. Amazon's starting to go high side as well. Good trade for me there on AMZN. Tesla right now, nice bounce off that 303. Look at that, right into the pre-market low highs, I guess. Nice move right there. We saw 303 hold yesterday on the upside. Now we see it hold on the downside right there as resistance turning into support. 304, 303 there for Tesla. Huge move off of that number right there. So good move back into the 200 period moving average. We had written down this 322 short, but we already saw that when it happened. So we need to get back up there before I really get too excited about it. Here we go, man. It's Amazon, guys. I think we did a good job. So we're going to sort of props up to that one. I hope some of you believed in me and took this trade. And there it is, man. It's 20 cents. We're going to take some out there at 65. And now we'll wait to see if we get that 69, which is where I'm offering as well. Here it comes. Give me that 69. And then we'll get back up there to the upside. I don't necessarily want to take this out, especially if the futures keep on ripping. I see you're back into Apple long. We've got short AMD. I just took a little piece out there as we fell into the 20s again. So that turned out to be a decent trade, but so far so good. Uber, we're hearing, is also breaking out, but we're having a grand old time right now, man. A couple more outs there as we take 30 more cents here on Amazon.
Yeah, no, this market is ripping up to the upside here. So yeah, I kind of again took that short on Apple. We came into 211 halves, and we kind of started catching a little bit of a bid. So I'm like, all right, I'm willing to dabble into a little bit of a long for that potential continuation push back in. Again, that 212, sorry, was it 214 halves? Is that weekly kind of consolidation area here. And we already broke out of the 202s, 203, that little consolidation from the past couple of weeks. And that's what I'm asking, is like, where's the next stop? Bigger picture, again, we're only $2 away from that here on Apple on the day today. So being a little bit patient, let's see if we can get back above day highs. No idea as of right now. I was looking for that reversion to VWAP, got it. I'm going to be a little bit patient as it kind of consolidates here. 212 halves, just taking those scalps off until I get a little bit more conviction for that push. But that VWAP hold was quite nice, and look at that, a little bit of a chop here. Don't necessarily want to get involved. Look at that, coming back into 212s from those halves. So moving averages, yeah, I'm using those sometimes, but at the end of the day, the tape is definitely a little bit cleaner than some of those lagging indicators there as well. But yeah, let's see what happens. This market is absolutely ridiculous, ripping back up to the upside. So 22,600 was that area where we kind of bounced off of there. Oh boy, CNC still going, man. People are still hitting the bid aggressively on this one there. And again, free to borrow. Didn't have to take any sort of borrows there. I'm waiting for that SSR bid to potentially step back into this. No idea if or when it will, but oh boy, that short continuation was absolutely solid. Again, when it's breaking through multi-year lows, there's probably going to be people who are selling selling their bags there, and yeah, that's definitely something, a prime example of that, textbook example of that on and see a bit of a fumble on my part, not getting involved in any sort of effective way. But the question is, guys, where is the next trade? Go Bill saying PLTR, no likely VWAP. Let's take a quick look at PLTR here and see what that one is up to. So where is that? All right. That's one of them. Tesla, oh boy. So we were talking about that anchored VWAP off of that event in the morning session right there. So this is just a 1 minute chart. We kind of faded off of that pretty aggressively. What a beautiful reversion. Oh boy. I was salivating over this one a little bit as it kind of started to pull back in. 303s kind of coming into, I guess not exactly prior day high, but in these levels where we saw some, maybe some resistance yesterday, but holding that prior day's range, giving us that reversion of the reversion back into that anchored VWAP here on Tesla. And there were a few other names as well that I was watching. I want to take a quick look at those as well. Oh boy, Apple's actually going now. That's okay. As Starbucks, so SBUX. Let's take a quick look at that one. What is that?
Robinhood might break 100.
Yesterday we had a little bit of a push. Wow, Robinhood. Yes. No, Sean, you want to talk about that one? That one's looking great. Right?
No, I just want to say, so we did get stopped out of, and we'll have to stop a fail. I mean, we can't just keep talking about all of the positive stocks, and we actually tweeted that out as well. We tweeted out our mistake on TQQs, and again, we're up you know, we're up on AMD more than we're down on TQQs, obviously. Amazon right there, reloaded that. As you can hear in the background, we are going through the renovation Studio 8 big time right now. But there's AMD. We did get stopped out. It does go into that area that we were thinking about, you know, 137 as a top spot there. Looks like now we fade back out, so we may have just taken ourselves out there at the high of the day, and then it does go about another 20 cents there upside. But there's the fade now finally for AMD. Boo on that one, as that's coming back in just a little bit. So I don't think we want to go short this name because it hasn't been right. But again, kind of like the trade, but we'll stay away from that just for now. Yeah, Robinhood, we can check out SoFi is another name that we really haven't looked at yet today either. Back to $18. This is roughly where we trimmed last time here. So yeah, trimming again might be a decent opportunity here for us on SoFi, but again, I kind of like the stock. Now that we've taken some out, you're back up to some of these highs. SoFi up nicely as well here today, so congratulations to anybody that was holding that or bought some of that dip in there yesterday. SoFi doing real great right now, so we'll have to wait to see what's going on with SoFi. Breaking through $18 could definitely be one of those trades again here as well. SMR, people want to look at DAIC. Why haven't we heard about that yet today? A little bit of a liquidity squeeze. I have the news is going in my ear. I'm just not really hearing anything, and I know Adair is over there. Obviously, when she hears something, she'll come to us with any of these stories as well. But there goes DAIC. Good little look there, as this is a relatively new IPO, I guess, right? Came out there, or I don't know, symbol change, I'm not sure, but $26 up to $42, up to $75. Now right back down into $4 yesterday. $33 today. Like, this name is absolutely, sorry, $13 today. Absolutely insane right now, DAIC. So whatever's up with that, man, it's going right now. We have crude inventories coming up at 10:30, so we can look at what's going on with oil right now as well. I mean, the market's not just stocks. I mean, we got to look at other places. We see Bitcoin doing nothing. I mean, I'm trying to watch out for that right now. We talked about it earlier, 107.5. Oil, yeah, nice downside push. You know, we had looked at this off of the Iran-Israel conflict, and we had said that, you know, this move down, it looks like we may find a base here around $64, $65, and so far so good. That's been printing out, so that's been a good trade there for oil if you've been trying to go long on that one. We do have crude oil inventories coming as well. Big Bear AI, you know, again, like, the smiles aren't going to come off my face today really for any reason, but definitely not for Big Bear AI. You guys know this is in my account. We really like this name. We're long at 420 on Big Bear AI. So as this one just continues to move higher right now, we like this. A nice break of $7, getting up to those high side. Now remember, for everybody else that's in Big Bear AI, there's the level. We just faded off of that again. So just be careful with whatever you're looking at here. Big Bear came up here before. We've been up to 720. It's now ripping faces off today, but will it stop? If it does, it's going to be right here at 725. I'm going long if it breaks 725. So let's put that order in right now for BBAI, a break of $7.25. Your boy's going long. So let's go Big Bear AI. Let's see the damage in this name if we can put some on a break of $7.25, that recent high. Reload in Amazon. Let's see if that one wants to work. AMD, we got stopped out at the high of the day. Adara, what's going on?
What's going on? This is the IWM pulling back slightly from yesterday's fantastic rally. We were really strong for much of the day, though. I guess the last 4 hours or so, we gave up some of that move. Now, not only did we make a lower high pre-market, right now we're trying to continue to push a little bit lower, bit of a bounce here off the open, but petering out around 219s, it looks like. ENVX, the small cap I mentioned earlier, that's certainly still in play. This is Novix Corporation, near day's highs, well above its pre-market highs, announcing a $60 million share repurchase program. They do have a short float of about 28%, market cap around $2 billion for former, I guess, frequent runner here, ENVX. Then we have METC, Ramaco. This company announcing yesterday morning that they're going to be opening their first new U.S. rare earth mine in 70 years. And then also apparently their Brook Mine project showing billion-dollar potential for U.S. rare earths, according to a statement made by the company, I believe, yesterday evening. Then I want to talk about this DAIC. Sean, like you, I was a little bit confused and trying to figure out what the history here is. According to Benzinga, they made their debut via IPO, on June 23rd. But if you actually look at it, seems like the stock has been a little bit older than that. Fortunately, I don't have any details. But so what's weird is the company is technically listed as CID Holdco, but they do business as .ai. It's one of those ones that I really am not able to find tons of info on. But if that changes, you guys know I will let you know right away. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adara. This Apple coming back in, so I feel like I'm playing seesaw here. Just taking. There you go. Got out of it again. Just taking longs, taking shorts, just scalping out the price action. Kind of working a little bit back. This again, that $2 hold was not the best. Don't do that. Yeah, now I'm just like, all right, I'll take a $0.50 here. I'll take 25 pennies here. I'll take any sort of bites out of this apple that I can, and hopefully, we get a little bit full on that there. But coming back into VWAP right here, we made a lower high at that 213. I had the long off the VWAP push. The 213 held as a little bit of a lower high. I did get in a little aggressive, not necessarily aggressive, but a little later than I wanted to. I think I can be definitely a little bit closer to that 213 when I do see that stall at the whole dollar level. I don't necessarily need to be waiting for the half to start for it to start trading below the half. But again, if you're just gonna chop like this, not really gonna, it's a lot of mental effort. It's a lot of work, I think, to keep on scalping out, just the short-term price action there. But again, it's definitely doable. I don't know if I want to be spending that kind of mental effort right now, though. But yeah, where is the next trade? Let's take a quick look at that one. Wow, man, CNC still going, trading below. Oh boy, there's the crack back to VWAP on Apple. So CNC still getting below that 35 now. So oh boy, and that Apple short looking like it's finally coming in a little bit better. But you know what? Where's the next scalp? I guess is what I'm asking right now. So Apple finally catching a little bit of a breather from that aggressive bid that we had in the session here. But guess what? The market's not really catching that breather, man. 15-minute back-to-back jacks here all the way from 8:45. We've been holding trend on the futures, on the Nasdaq specifically, much more cleaner than the ES. You can see we got that aggressive red candle that came in, kind of breaking back down and then pulling right back up. So yeah, it wasn't necessarily aggressive selling, but that little bit of a shake and bake into the open was a little interesting to see, pushing back up towards highs. Here's the thing: sometimes we're seeing this happen with the ES, then the Nasdaq. Sometimes we're seeing it from the Nasdaq, then the ES, where one of the futures will start approaching their high a day or their extreme on the day and finally push, and the other one's lagging behind a little bit. We saw that with the ES and Nasdaq yesterday, and we're seeing some more of that today. But the question becomes: are we going to get more of the same, where the Nasdaq kind of breaks out of its morning session high right here, and then the ES has a much longer way to go. And now again, I don't know. I don't really have the stats on that. I don't really have the data on that. But if I see what I'm looking for, I do want to get a little bit involved here. VWAP.
Well, I didn't get BBAI.
Apple now. Yeah, VWAP coming back here
what the
on
flying...
Apple. What's going on? Is everything?
No, I don't know. No, everything's not kosher. No, because I must have got distracted because I should have been long. Big Bear, first of all, right here, we're gonna run this poll. You guys got to get in here. It is now live, the stock voting game. It's been live for a minute. Don't ignore that. There's many more submissions than 7, which is what screwed me up. Put your order in here at 10:30. We'll go over the top names. But yeah, no, something got screwed up for me because we should have punched long Big Bear AI once we broke through 725. It doesn't, I mean, the order, I guess, did not go out, or I did not set it properly or something, but epic fail by me right now on Big Bear AI because there it goes. So I just punched into, oops, we don't need this TQQ trade up. There it goes. There's Big Bear AI right there, now breaking through. We did punch in at 734. It's my bad. We should have been long on this name at 7. I'm actually not that impressed because I don't know what I did there, but anyways, keystroke error or something. I think I was talking to Fabian about this whole thing here, and I might have missed putting it out, so. Okay, it was going to be a few thousand shares anyways, so it doesn't matter, but anyways, 10 cents, we would have taken that, obviously, depending on what share size you have, but there it goes, upside right now on Big Bear AI. Okay, man, we're reloaded again, let's go. It is Amazon, and submission looks great now, Fabian, thanks for that. All right, so we are starting to run the gambit right here as let's go Amazon. Trump saying right now he's ready to announce on True Social he just made a trade deal with Vietnam. So you know who that's good for? Lululemon right now. Lululemon should get going there. If that bang! Sometimes I'm smarter than I think.
Let's go.
Sometimes. Right there, but there it goes, man. Lululemon. I've been looking at them. Most of their products, again, Vietnam. So we're gonna look at that. We're gonna look at Nike as well. There for that. So there it goes, gapping up right there. So President Trump announcing right now that he has made a deal with Vietnam. So there goes some of these related stocks, right? There goes Lulu, the Vietnam ETF. I have no idea what that is, but here we go, man. We're ready to get juiced up right now, guys. It's Big Bear AI. It's Amazon. Amazon in Vietnam. Look, man, the more deals that we can come through with here, the better it's going to be for this conglomerate. Let's go retail. This is what we're talking about right now. Retail, be strong now. Come on, Amazon. We hit it with AMD today. We're hitting it with Amazon. Big Bear AI, my bad on that one right there, but there goes a nice play up for Amazon. We're pretty happy for that one. Deal potentially with Vietnam. Here we go, man. Amazon, let's go. NVIDIA could be playing off this as well. Everything's starting to rip right now. Good thing we're out of AMD because that name keeps on ripping. If you don't have outs, man, look, we can be woe is me when it comes all the way back down, but glad we're still not stuck in that. And not only that, man, but now we move over to Amazon, and now we've made more on Amazon than we lost on that TQ trade. So today, again, as Ice Cube would say, is another good day. Adara over at the desk. Oh,
Yep.
Sorry, we're going over to Obi.
Yep. So Trade the Pool. We got another behind-the-scenes look at Trade the Pool, but this time we're diving into the community side of Trade the Pool. As you know, each trader gets his or her own hub, and inside one, you'll find Trade Talk, a powerful charting and analysis space where traders map out strategies, break down setups, and share predictions with the community. And if you're looking for real-time, interactive, the Trade the Pool Discord is where you got to visit. It's full of active traders sharing insights, trades, and tips to grow together. At Trade the Pool, you're not trading alone. You're joining a firm that invests in your growth. Technically, mentally, and financially, head to tradethepool.com or scan the QR code on the screen. What a bounce on Apple as the Nasdaq rips through day highs. Thank you, Jedi, for the super chat here. Deckers also, we'll check them out, I guess, as well. I don't know. I don't remember what the... Outdoors? Yeah. Deckers Outdoors. Okay, so yeah. I was like, I thought you meant like the clothing brand, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that thing is ripping up as well. 107.38. So let's pull that up on a chart so we can all take a look at it together. EECK. Wow, look at this. That's an aggressive push right there. 104s to 107s on that, and you're saying Lulu's also moving.
Yes,
on
sir.
That, on that tweet there. So yeah, ones to watch out for. We'll be right back from Adara.
Yeah, I mean, I want to talk a little bit more about this Vietnam post from Trump. Then I guess we'll just move into the crypto segment because it's basically 10:30. So Donald Trump posted on Truth Social, and I quote, "I just made a trade deal with Vietnam, details to follow." So we have no context on this. I want to make that very clear. We're going to have to wait and see, I guess, if other people from his team come out and say this, because he said himself and not his team. So yeah, certainly I think lots of questions. We just got EIA gasoline inventories, 4.188 million versus 0.9 million expected. We have Lululemon here moving. We have Nike on watch as well. Deckers, Nike definitely staying really strong here. Could potentially look at Apple in this type of catalyst as well as a bit of a manufacturing or supply play, but Vietnam clearly not impacting this stock too much. Let's take a look here at BTC because it is that crypto time of day. Now, as I mentioned earlier when I was on the big desk here with Sharif, that 105,000 level serving as a little bit of support, maybe a higher low, because this does look a little bit like we're waffling around in the daily chart. But as I mentioned on the weekly, not a bad look here. Let's see if BTC can push above, hold this 105 support, push above 108, and push into new all-time highs above 112. Let's take a look as well here at what's happening in the other crypto names. Ethereum basically flat on the day, trying to hold on to this 2,450 level. BNB and Solana both up about 1.5%. Dogecoin and Cardano up even better, 2.4% and 3% respectively. So some of these alt plays actually outperforming Bitcoin and Ethereum this morning. Back to you.
Okay, we reloaded on Big Bear AI, so let's go, man. This name's starting to get going one more time. So we reloaded that down there. We got the price. I mean, we didn't get exactly the price we wanted. We got 27s. We were waiting for 26s, but it's okay. I punched a little bit higher there, got the 27s, and now here we go, man. It's Big Bear AI. And again, we're going to go AMD. We're going to go Amazon. We're going to go Big Bear AI. We're going to go 3-1 right now with a loss on the futures. But for me, the futures loss is just kind of like what it is. We got out of that. I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, as you can see, man, we definitely misread what the market wanted to do today. I mean, we are guests in that full-blown bull market, man. I mean, we talk about that over and over again here on the show, and what a run we've had since those tariff lows. And right now with more deals being announced, I mean, let's just take Trump at his word, right? I mean, maybe these deals are what they are, and he is going to announce a bunch of them. I'm going to go long Robinhood breaking through 100, but I'm only going to go long like half a unit to 1 unit or so. Look at Big Bear AI, Obi. I mean, this right now is making a difference in the account. That is for sure. Big Bear AI now making a move up into the 40s. Let's go, man. What about 50 level here for Big Bear? We'll get some more out up there at 46, 47. There it goes, man. Again, you know, we're trading small caps, large caps, medium caps, ice caps right now as this just continues to make the move. Let's go, man. We're on one, Obi. We've been on one for a minute now, and there it goes right now. Let's go. We're putting up numbers here trading, and I'm glad to be here with everybody. The studio is being renovated. We're proud of that. There it is. Look at the size right here on Big Bear AI. Go, just bust through, man. A little bit of size there at $7.50. So a little nervous about that, but there it goes. We ain't nervous. Let's go, Obi. Nice move right here on this one as we take out 750 right now. Nice upside play. We just bounced off 750. Let's take out something if we can get 750 even. We're not getting, I'm going to offer, right there. Okay, 748. Let's see. We're offering 49s now. And there we go. Okay, there it is, man. We take that out as well. So far, so good on that one. Yeah, man, pretty happy with the way the performance has been going today. So let's just keep on those good vibes and keep seeing, what's been going on here. Oh, I'm frozen. I just lost quotes.
I froze as well.
Okay, well, as soon as you have a good moment, this is what winds up happening. So we're back, baby. You don't keep these quotes down for too long. Right there it comes right back up there. Now the quotes are back. So we're back, Jack. That's what my late grandfather, unfortunately, used to always say. We're back, Jack. And right there, now we're back. So here we go, man. Another upside play for Amazon as well. But oh boy, man, we're getting excited for Big Bear AI. You guys know we got this in our account. So again, about this smile, sorry, but it's not going to leave the face right there, as it's a nice play there for Big Bear AI. So far, so good. Yeah, we're just, look, man, there's not much. We don't have positions there. I'm just getting excited for everybody on the show. I mean, it's just, we're not getting too crazy here, I hope. And I do apologize if we're getting a little worked up, but I'm trying to add something to the show, right? So, okay, so that's what we're doing right now. So far, so good on everything, man. It's Amazon long, it's Big Bear AI long.
Yeah, and there's one thing that's only been a short, and that's CNC. And still bleeding to the downside here, slow and steady. I was watching reserves show up on the bid. So again, a lot of beautiful tape action happening here. Reserves showed up at, 34 halves, but he was getting hit. And just refreshing. I'm like, oh damn, that's a lot of ice. As soon as that iceberg breaks, we crack down and now trading on top of 34s now. A little bit of size on top of 34s as well. You can see it here. Let's see. Let's throw on that bit of a filter. So we can filter out anything that's greater than 99 lots. And you can see that at that 34. Once we get, boom, right through. Oh no, never mind. That's, we're bouncing. Not right through. Still holding that 600 lots on top of that 34 as of right now. So bouncing a little bit off of that. And guess what? Missed that VWAP bounce on Apple there as we slammed into 211 halves and then ripped back up to 212 halves. And this is what I was talking about, a little bit of a chop fest
there goes
happening
Robinhood.
Here on the top of the I guess daily range or whatever, intraday range.
Come on, Robin.
Right now on Apple, 213s to 211 halves. A little bit of consolidation on the upper quartile. So I'm watching that one. Tesla did reclaim its anchored off of its deliveries, but nothing too crazy just now. I'm going to let Apple consolidate a little bit more. SPY's about to break its pre-market highs right there. ES potentially coming in. This is what I'm talking about here. But yeah, overnight session highs potentially coming in here at 62.70. What do you got going on?
No, like Robinhood is absolutely looking like it's having like a seizure or something. Robinhood right now breaks through 100, comes back in, goes back to, like, look at this, it's breaking 30, 40, 50 cents per time right there. So again, we only took half a unit on this because of this kind of action. I've never seen Robinhood move like this. I mean, I've seen it move like this, but not the quotes, the way they're moving right now. So here we go, man. It's Robinhood trying to go up higher and higher and higher right now. Let's go, man. We got a couple outs. Our only outs are at 20 cents. A 20-cent mark. So actually we have one at 15 cents, one at 20 cents. I have another small piece there at 20, and then we're going to let it go, man. We just want to make sure that we make a little bit of profit on this as we start to go back there to the upside on Robinhood. My stop is a break of 98, 99. You know, we've come back in, tested those levels a little bit. We've held it now for a little bit. Let's go. Here we go, man. We're on one again right now. I told you we were, but there it goes. Nice move to the upside. And by the way, guys, Big Bear AI, Sharif, $7.60. I learned all my small cap trading from Sharif. So right there goes Sharif. There goes Sharif. Come on, Sharif. There it goes, man. But there it is. Nice move on Big. No, I'm sure, Sharif. I watch you holding some of those trades. Good trade on that one. So we got to give credit where credit's due. There it goes, man. It's Big Bear AI. Let's go, man. The bear is in the building. For those of you that, maybe I'm giving out too much excitement, I apologize. But your boy is excited today. And you know why else, Obi? Look what Amazon's doing. Amazon is at the high of the day right now as well. So let me flip over to Amazon and see. Maybe not the high. Yes, it is at the high of the day. So there goes Amazon. And again, we talked about why we liked Amazon long. We talked about why we like Big Bear AI long. We talked about why we liked Robinhood long. Everything's in the building right now. There goes Robinhood. And the funny thing is, man, this coffee is still half full. Oh, so like this is just all pure excitement, adrenaline, energy. It's our first day live, so no, just we're now live again. I think we've been I don't know how many shows. That would actually be kind of cool to find that out. How many streamed hours do we have? I'm sure that's easy to find out. But
I wonder if,
thank you to everybody. Let me know. Okay, here. Put in the chats if you're having a good time. How about that? Put some ones in here. I love the Katina man. I mean, some people there. What's up, Shadow Rap? Take a chill pill. Yeah, I mean, I'm just getting excited for everybody on here. I mean, Obi's going to be the chill one for sure. But it looks like the chat is going off right now, man. People are liking the excitement. Remember, look at all these ones, man. I mean, thank you so much, man. Bless up to everybody that's watching. This is what it is. I get excited because you know why? Like, I'm trading bigger size. I'm trading for the family. I'm doing everything here. I'm making these calls. They're working out, getting emotional, and this is just what I do. And we're really excited to have everybody here. And the thing is like some people talk about trading and some people trade. Like, I'm here to put my hand up. I'm here to trade. We're here to put some money down, and this is what's happening right now. So I appreciate all the love in the chat, man. And for me, it's just not gonna stop. So, all right, let's go back over to Adara right now. Robinhood 50 cents, BBAI 50 cents, Amazon 50 cents. This is what we're doing, and we're doing it live every single day. What's up, Adara?
The Nasdaq and the S&P 500 are both green on the day, but one of them a little bit stronger than the other. That would be the Nasdaq. And I'm going to talk both about why I think the Nasdaq is stronger today and what's dragging down the S&P 500, because there is one really notable sector. But let's start here with this Nasdaq strength. 4 of the Mag 7 here really strong on the day. NVIDIA, Apple, Google, and of course TSLA pushing higher here, even after a bit of a pullback on those delivery and production numbers. Now, in case you missed it, delivery numbers actually weaker than expected, but production beating estimates. A lot of these other sectors, guys, are going to be really mixed. Even the tech sectors, Adobe down about 4%. They were downgraded this morning. Intel down about 5%. We have news that new CEO Lip-Bu Tan might be changing some of its strategy with regards to its 18A. Then we've got finance, incredibly mixed. Consumer services, pretty red For the most part, health technology mixed, consumer non-durables mixed. The names that are strong on this sector are likely strong because we had Donald Trump announcing that he made a trade deal with Vietnam. More details to follow. Utilities red, communications red, industrial services red. But now I want to get to the sector that I think is dragging down the S&P 500, and it is undoubtedly health services. Every name in the sector pretty much is bright red, and it's all led by a massive move to the downside. We are talking almost 40% for CNC. Centene with its worst performance on the day since 2006. Basically here cutting their guidance or getting rid of their guidance for fiscal 2025. Back to you.
Thank you very much there. So yeah, I just pulled up GPT, and that question that you were asking. I mean, it's still thinking about it. It's like it's taken the first streaming dates. It's doing some calculations. All right, there we go. It thought for 2 minutes and 23 seconds, which is a pretty decent amount of time there, I'd say, when it comes to GPT. And let's see, the number derived. The total number, let's just get the total number, dude. The answer, roughly between 1,310 to 1,315 market days that Trader TV Live has been streaming for, apparently. So I don't know how accurate that is, but it sounds about right.
1,000 days?
1,310 to 1,315, so plus minus 5 days.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
Because you think there's 250 trading days in a year, so I put us at 4 or 5 years. Yeah, that's probably right. I'm not sure, Fabian, does it show on YouTube like what our very first stream day was? Don't dig too deep. Don't dig too deep. I just wasn't sure how granular whatever YouTube gets in all of that. Okay, so
April 15th, 2020. That's what it's reading it as.
April
15th, 2020.
That's probably right.
We have to confirm if that's the right date. But
April.
I trust
right.
my GPT.
Right, April. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Fabian said we used to internally stream and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, that was before.
So, but that might be right, man. 2020, April 15th or so. So thanks, Obi. That's a great thing to talk about. So, yeah, right at the beginning of COVID, basically. Yeah, that's right. All right, so it's 10:42 right now. Let's do a review. So we have something really cool that we do here on the show. I want to thank Fabian for building this. I mean, we have honestly our team. Like. Sure, I'm trading, Obi's trading, we're trading, but it's everybody that's behind the scenes that makes this thing happen. I just sitting here, this is what I'm basically love to do. So I'm sitting here doing what I love to do. But we have a great team. So this is what's won today. BB, look what trades I'm in. Big Bear AI and Robinhood. Those are two trades that I'm in right now. Those are the top trades there as well so far today. Tesla. I'm just trying to see if there's anything on here that maybe we haven't really run through. We haven't really talked too much about Palantir, CYN or Reddit, maybe Circle. A few mentions there as well. So also with the chat. So we just want to thank everybody. And this is the voting game that has been running. This submission number's off because I was screwing it up earlier. It might be good now. Okay, so it's good now. But it was, Fabian told me something, and if I hit a certain button, it just lights the screen up. So I was getting a little carried away with that. What else is new? But thank you to everybody for all of this, man. And this is what the Midday show, it sort of stemmed from them. I mean, they were running all of that. I was like, hey, man, that's pretty cool. Give it to me. Then I screwed it up, but now we know how to do it. So it's ready to go, man. That's really cool. And on the Midday, it's not that it's slower. Sharif reads the news and stuff like that. There's different segments. So I feel like for me, it's a little easier to run through that scanner instead of always looking at the chat. So I really like that. And I do see right here that this is, who's your toddler trading partner? So I'm going to go with baby. I'm going to go with, I can't go with myself. I'm going to go, I'm going to go with Obi because he's right. I should have gone with Neil. Oh, look at that, man. Thank you so much to everybody. 56%, man. I really like that. If we can get it set up again, can we watch that again? There is an amazing short that's out right now. I want to thank Ramin to all that. You can go, this is, I don't know where, here, it's right here. It's up on by the way, shout out to High Park Baseball. This is me right here. These are all the girls. This is, me sort of coaching up. We had a great day on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We took time off to be here. And here's all the girls listening to me talking about Big Bear AI. And they're just like, they're kind of like, dude,
They were like, we should have invested 2 years ago.
Yeah, they're like, man, we know about Palantir, but what do you got for us on Big Bear? No. But anyways, there it is. So here it is. It's on here right now. Squabble up, 15 responses, 67 likes, man. I'm not going to play it because it's not going to work. But okay, here we go. Is that the beginning? I don't know. I think you might have to rewind it to, maybe it's the beginning, maybe it's not.
Nice to this cockroaches.
And not wear an Apple Watch on your wrist when you're.
Look at this guy's watches.
That's forbidden. If, do you really want to go to hell because you happen to have your Apple Watch?
Hell?
Do
There's
not
my
do
Apple
that. Only when you're working out it's permitted.
The going to hell might be a little harsh on that one.
You lose your soul and you go to hell.
I'd like to say thank you to Kevin O'Leary, but
No.
All
you
I
might
want
win.
to do with you guys is crush you like the cockroaches you are. That's
What?
Oh.
I like Neil's part in that. The only, and I said this to all of our friends in our high school chat. Like we still have a high school. I mean, I'm only 5 years out of high school, but we still have a high school chat.
I still got one of those. So, you know.
Yeah, so we have that high school chat going, and they're like, all that Neil was saying was whoa, 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 whoa. But yeah, that was pretty funny. And there we had a great time with that one. Thank you, Ramin, for posting that up. Meanwhile, we just got hit. So let's hit a fail on that one. As we're having a lot of good times here and good friends, good times, good everything, BBAI is still ripping, and Amazon is tanking. By tanking, I mean made that move down and breaks it. So there is apparently some news. I don't know if I don't hear anybody calling for it, but I just heard Adara say that. So let's go over to Adara for some news.
Yeah, Lululemon, as you could see here, went from very strong to actually breaking a new low of day. Let's talk about it. There's a Truth Social post, as you can tell, pretty long from Donald Trump. He teased his Vietnam trade deal earlier. Now he actually announces the terms, saying that I guess he spoke to Vietnam Secretary of the Communist Party, and there's going to be a deal of cooperation between the countries. Vietnam's going to pay the U.S. a 20% tariff on any and all goods sent into the territory and a 40% tariff on any transshipping. And then Vietnam will be giving the U.S. total access to their markets in exchange. So Vietnam paying a 20% tariff and a 40% tariff, depending, and then Vietnam giving the U.S. total access to their markets. So basically, that means that the U.S. will be able to sell their products into Vietnam at with a zero tariff. And I guess here, according to Trump, it's his opinion that the SUV, or the large engine vehicle, will be an excellent addition to Vietnam. So I guess he's excited about the car opportunities here. Maybe keep an eye on some vehicle stocks. But either way, the market does not seem to really enjoy this tariff deal struck between the U.S. and Vietnam. Back to you.
I'm going to try to go long again on Amazon. Okay, look at Big Bear AI right now. I'm not even, like, we are over the moon right now in what's going on. Like, I think I'm going to get out of another 10% right here at $8. This is a double up. This is a 100% winner right now on Big Bear AI. So, I mean, and this is only in a week. We've made 100% on this trade in about a week and a half. We've been in it for longer, man. I told you, we bought right here at 5. And I don't know, part of being honest is me showing you all the trades here and talking about what I'm honestly doing in my portfolio as well. So this is not financial advice. There's $5, we bought 5, we bought 4, we bought 3, giving me an average price of right here. There it goes. We talked about our first exit at 6, so we did that around 6.85. And now we're trying to get some out, well, we will when the show is over, around 8. And then we'll watch out for the biggest of the bears in the AI space. It's Big Bear AI. All right, just a quick little talk about Amazon. Then I'm gonna throw it back to my guy over here. 219.50 just held, so I'm gonna use that. And I'm not gonna average back into this until we get to 219.75. So if you wanna come back down, fine. I'm not gonna play that game though. Homie, don't play that. We're not gonna play that right now with Amazon. If you want to go up, fine. We're in the name. We'll take it back up to the upside. But you did stop us out on that. So yeah, not really a friend of mine today, Amazon. But so far so good there. Yeah, I do have some Nikes on right now, so I don't know what's going on with Nike, but she just brought out.
Slammed back down.
Yeah, so I think it's just a lot of hype there on that Vietnam deal. Then I wonder what that deal is, right? And so as we learn more about it, yeah, so he's talking about it right now. So Adara's going to have that for us. Remember, we only have, well, right now, why don't we wait? It's Money Talks. Are you ready for Money Talks? Okay, so let's do that. So let's go over to Adara. It's Money Talks and probably more news on everything.
Yeah, in case you missed it, I actually talked about the Vietnam terms in my last throw a couple minutes ago, but I'll go over them again. So basically, I think what people do not seem to like about this deal is that Vietnam is going to be paying the U.S. a 20% tariff on all goods, but then a 40% tariff on any trans-shipping. That seems to be the aspect of the deal that people have issues with based on what I'm seeing on X. However, in exchange, the Vietnam will be giving U.S. total access to its markets. Trump seems to be very excited mostly about that portion of the deal. But yeah, just to recap, I did mention that earlier, but 40% tariff on any trans-shipping for Vietnam into the U.S. Let's talk about the DXY, which looks a bit flat top breakish on this 3-minute chart. The reason I'm going to the 3-minute is to explain this drop that we had here at 8:15 a.m. That's when we got ADP employment change. And as I mentioned earlier a couple times now, it was well weaker than we were expecting. We were expecting it to print about 30,000 or 33,000. So we got negative. We were expecting positive 99,000. We got negative 33,000. So much weaker than expected here for ADP employment change. The U.S. dollar, though, at least on a short term, looking pretty bullish. And on the daily chart, this could be a bit of a reversal as well. We still have lower highs, lower lows, but we get a pseudo bottoming tail candle yesterday. Now today, trying to engulf a lot of the action from yesterday and maybe even from Monday. So could this be the time the dollar bounces? Let's see how it interacts with that previous, support here at 97.50. Will it turn to resistance? Time will tell. Back to you.
Right. Time will tell.
Boy, this market is ripping to the upside, man. It just look at that, fresh highs on Nasdaq, and we kind of talked about this. The ES was a little bit lagging behind with respect to some of its overnight session highs there, and then kind of climbing right back in. Oh boy, I'm seeing wipes of green into the ask there on Apple. And it looks like it's poised for a little bit of a high a day test. That's coming in here. 213.5 was it? Let's see what that specific high on the day was. 213.34. So a nice little consolidation still happening in and around Apple as the markets start to rage to the upside here. But yeah, some of these stocks are not as strong. Sure, Tesla's making its way back up. Google, we talked about Google, Apple, and Nvidia, and Nvidia is the one that is pretty aggressive to the upside as well, and Apple's starting to take in step of that as well. So let's take a quick look at both of those. Oh boy, that was Lulu. Damn, what a reversion on that one there. I was thinking about this. I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to really revert this. It's an intraday news because I was watching it in and around here, and I was watching Deck as well, and I was like, oh wow, that's pretty wild as well on something that doesn't normally get this kind of action. Here all the way 109.06 is full-on reversion, 100% reversion back down. So spoofy news? I don't know, but definitely giving it a little bit back here on the day. So Nvidia was the one that I was talking about, pretty strong. Look at this.
Oh boy, Webull.
Really extended off of that VWAP here, 157 halves. Look at this, nice little pullback. Doesn't even quite get to VWAP here, 154. Oh boy. What's going on? Someone's got a new position on, or?
No, man. We have Webull. Webull's a name that we again in our own PA there took this name, and we took this name long at $11. Webull working out nicely right now, up another 4% as our Robinhood came out. I don't know what's Robinhood at right now. So that breaks through 99. This is actually going to be a flat trade now on Robinhood. We're able to take some out there at 60s and 70s, and then dropped back through 99. So actually a little down on the stock today, Robinhood, but flat as far as a P&L, but red as a P&L, but flat as far as any damage really done on this. And that's because we were able to get out. It looks like we get out once again at the very bottom right there for that one. But you know what? Like, this is the thing. This is, to me, what trading's all about. You're going to be right. You're going to be wrong. That's fine. You know, as long as you can justify the trades that you're in. And, you know, it's like what I tell the kids, like, you know, they're going to make bad decisions, but like, why did you make them? You know, how can we improve and so on and so forth, right? I ain't improving anything. This is a great move downside there for AMD. What we could have noticed was that it was consistently holding this 200 period moving average, but we did notice that. I mean, this is why we're getting out like crazy. And as it's going back up, we're getting out. We're actually getting more out right here as it's dumping back down in. So, you know, the fact that it blows through that top and we get stopped out there, fine. Like that's fine for me because look what happens afterwards. So again, we could have a whole bunch of talking heads on the show telling you how to trade, what's going on, but this is live actual trading, right? I'm not putting out videos after the fact of what's going on. This is what we're doing live. We're doing it live, Obi. We talk about that all day. You know, this is not saying, well, you know, this is a coil up thing that's about to break, like pay for this indicator and you'll be rich. That's not what trading is about, man. Those are the scams that are out there. This is real trading, man, hence the name. I'm trading at a firm called Real Trading. These are real trades that are happening for you. This is strategies that we're talking about every single day. And honestly, when AMD breaks like this, we got to get out of there, right? This is no competition that we're running. This is called life. You can take it off me, man. Put it back on the charts. I don't need my face on this screen. This is just like, what we're talking about this is big bear AI. This is not like, oh, on a retracement, do this. Like, there's going to be traders that are going to say, wow, there was a dip buy on VWAP. There's a dip. You know, we took this break on a level that we had given right there. You know, so when that break happens, we're in it. And when it works, this is what happens. And like right now, I'm only in, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, we got out 20% left of Big Bear AI. We're out of 80%. And look, we noticed it stopping up here, 780. So there's the move up. Here's the sort of top. And we got out 10% more twice, 20% more out right there because, you know, and I just think that that's like, I don't know, I'm trying to be as, humble and everything as we are here. And I'll tell you when we're red, we'll tell you when we're green. And it's just like, I just want us to all, continue to watch the stream, get better, continue with the great questions there in the chat. And on that note, Obi, what the hell's for lunch?
Oh boy. I was gonna hit the bang because you just dropped some wisdom there, so
Appreciate that, Obi.
Preach.
Thank you, Obi. I really like having Obi by my side. We do have Neil coming back, of course, who, the guy's been, you just said 1,000 shows or whatever it was.
It was like, so if
I'm comfortable.
it was in 2020, that date, it would have been 1,300 shows.
All right, here we go. Right now, Thursday, July the 3rd is tomorrow. Today is Wednesday, July the 2nd. So you want to know what's for lunch today? Okay, not too bad. We had some maple chipotle sausage from Farm Boy.
Okay.
No, that's what I had the other night. Joseph's like,
he's like,
no way.
From Farm Boy?
Joseph's like, from Farm Boy? I love Farm Boy. Farm Boy is like a Canadian version of like a Whole Foods, basically. I love going there. Their meat section is great. And it's actually really reasonably priced, man. It's not like, like we have places like No Frills and all those kind of discount places, which are fine too. But I prefer Farm Boy, but it doesn't matter anyways. Let's move on that. Today's What's for Lunch? And we just talked about chicken. It's Chipotle glazed chicken.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, so it kind of matches with some of the chicken dinner winners today. But yeah, it's okay. So Chipotle glazed chicken with crispy potato wedges, charred Brussels sprouts. We've been having that a lot lately, and red peppers, and of course a chef's choice salad. Ladies and gentlemen, would it be barbecued or not? I actually have today. That's what's for lunch. Oh boy. We were patient with Amazon, and oh boy, this Amazon trade is turning out to be a good one. As we just bought that dip, we said we were going to buy the dip. Our out was $219.50. We got luckily not out of that one. For the first time in a few years, I used to clean the barbecue myself.
Okay. Not anymore?
That's a nightmare. It's fun to do, but cleaning a barbecue with just everything involved there, it's messy.
It's pretty tough, yeah.
It's messy. So yesterday, my daughter, and I should have tweeted out a picture. She was there. She was making the burgers by hand yesterday. Really super awesome and everything. And then, of course, we went out there for the barbecue. We had a great time. Just too many flare-ups for my liking right there. So I went in. We got a guy coming today, opened up the Jiffy app, which should be a sponsor of the show, went into there. Got a guy coming right now to clean the barbecue. It's this weekend. We're up north and everything, and I just wanted to get that over with. A couple $100, get that done professionally. Honestly, I think it's going to make a huge difference in the quality of the cook. I normally clean it myself, and it says I like.
You know what I found? I clean mine as well quite often, and I was like, so growing up, my dad would always ask me like, go clean the barbecue for dinner or whatever, and I would not like that task. And me being the lazy person that I am, I'm just like, how can I make this as easy as possible? Because I do.
So you used AI or?
No, I didn't use AI, but I was like, I looked into. So what I found is like the cleaning products make the biggest difference. Right?
Yes.
So I was like,
okay.
So eventually, what I settled on was not industrial grade, but commercial grade, like restaurant cleaner,
like
which
stainless.
is which absolutely melts everything off, and you just need a quick 1-2 spray. Sure, a little bit of elbow grease, but but yeah, no, the products make the biggest difference when it comes to cleaning and detailing anything. But yeah, no.
So we're long Amazon. We're almost out of BBAI. Want to run over anything before we go over? We've already switched.
I got this. I got the CNC, which finally seems like these sellers might be done for now. Again, aggressive selling all the way down. How much is this down on the day now? Let's pull this number in. 39% currently to the downside on CNC. So let's see if we can kind of, CNC a move back to the upside.
Oh, I was gonna say, do you know CNC Music Factory?
No, I'm talking about like the CNC, like custom manufacturing machines.
I'm talking about CNC Music Factory because it's gonna make you move.
Hey, okay, all right. I see.
All right, Obi.
Oh boy.
Let's go. Big show time. All right, thank you so much, Obi. We had a banger of a show right there. We are now positive on Amazon as that starts to rip up. Big Bear Eye has been good. We've got a lot of energy coming to the guys from my left right now, so let's go over there right now. It's a midday show. It's Sharif and Joe. Me and this guy back at 2 p.m. Peace.